G'day guys and welcome back to your English Aussie. We are live for the Game Week 6 deadline stream. We've got a lot of talk about today. This is my Game Week 6 side at the moment. I've still got one free transfer in the bank. I think I will be rolling it over through to Game Week 7. We've got an awful lot to talk about today. I'm sure plenty of people have got some ideas for their teams. Had a few issues on the setup today, just getting everything ready to go. But now we are ready to kick off. I'll just pull up the chat in the side screen. Good morning, Paul. Hope you are well, mate. Feels like the last couple of streams, every time I've been streaming, I've had some sort of issue. Today, again, I am struggling with illness. I picked up COVID, which I didn't realise was still a thing this week, so it has been a bit of a struggle for me. But I hope you're all doing well. Hope you are all ready for this week. If you do need any help with your teams, please chuck your team ID down below in the chat, and we will get through everybody's teams today. Little discussion then around my own team and sort of thoughts going forwards. I think there are a few interesting discussion points and a few teams that I think we should be looking at going forwards over the next few game weeks. I think especially across sort of game weeks now 6 to around 11 before that big fixture run for Manchester City, for Liverpool, for Newcastle, and even really for Bournemouth all starts to kick off from around game week 12, game week 13. We should be looking at sort of working our teams around that next sort of 6 game week plan. I think if you're looking at who have great fixtures at the moment, especially from an attacking side of things, I think Manchester City, obviously, with their fixture against Burnley this week and Brentford next week, have a nice little 2-game period where I think they look really nice. After that, then you sort of have the Everton, Villa, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle. They actually have a 5-game week period, which is a little bit tricky from an offensive standpoint. And really, this is where I think a few people that are looking at Foden, if you are looking to go into Foden, it is sort of, for me, feels like almost a 2-game week punt that you're going on for him. And guys, if you do have any issues with the stream today, I did have a couple of issues while I was setting up. Please let me know, and hopefully I can fix it up as we're going along. But hopefully everything is working okay, and we've got no issues at the moment. So, yeah, just jumping back to the team, I'll just chuck in the chat there that we are live. Hopefully this is posted across a few of my other apps as well. I was cross-posting. I just did run a little bit late today, so I do apologise. Make sure to pin this on my Twitter as well, so everyone knows. Paul, have you got a team or anything that you do want to look at today? Happy to chuck yours in there. Tayo Sekiara, hi mate. How can I send my team for your review? Thanks, by the way. Who should bench between Gyökeres and Gabriel? Tayo, I think if you just flick your team through on if you have a wildcard team, you can put it on Twitter or Instagram. Otherwise, if you can just give me your team ID, I'll pop it in through. I'll look at it on FPL Game Week. So if this is your first time on this stream, generally what I'll do is I'll pull your team up on stream like this, and then we'll talk through your team. So if you can send me your team ID, then we will flick it up on the screen here, and we can discuss. So this is my team again on screen. This week I made the transfers to bring in Erling Haaland for Mateta, moved out Mo Salah, and brought in Semenyo. So yeah, I guess we'll also talk through some team news, who's available, who's not available, as we go through. Does Team ID show transfers for this week? No, it doesn't show the transfers that you have made already this week, but if you just let me know, then we can work from there. If you've already made your transfers. Otherwise, we can discuss what your possible transfer plans are and what you should look to do. It's fine, you tag me on Twitter. Let me just pull that up on my other screen, mate. Do you mind just sending it through DM on Twitter, mate? Just for simple. Just to make it simple. Otherwise it sort of comes up a little bit weird on my screen. Actually, no, it's fine. I got it. Don't worry. Yeah, so let's have a look at your team here. Big Ange, how are you, mate? Yeah, first up in the queue, Ange. Great timing. I'll just put your team ID in on my side screen. 880074. So Ty, mate, if we just talk through yours. So Raya in goal, Senesi, Anderson, Tarkovsky, quite strong at the back. I do like that with Gabriel on the bench, with Chris Richards. So, and I think something that we should probably talk about today is my thoughts around how I think 4 at the back is probably coming into being an optimal formation, or at least allowing yourself the ability to play 4 at the back, with having sort of a few cheaper midfielders and maybe even like a bit of bench fodder in your forwards strike force. So across your midfield, and do you have any free transfers or money in the bank at the moment, Tayo, or is this 0 in the bank now? Oh, Wildcard active, okay. Ronnie, hey mate, let's for 5-2-3 meta formation. I almost think, like, if you were thinking about that, it'd probably be 5-3-2. I think the forwards at the moment are probably the weakest area. And if you look on FPL around who are the highest scoring players at the moment, you'll see, obviously you have Semenyo and Haaland that are leading the way. But apart from those sort of high scoring players, a lot of the defenders are above 30 points. Whereas for strikers, you've only got 3 strikers at the moment that are above 30 points, which is obviously difficult considering you have to make sure that you get into those players immediately. We'll start Richards or Milenkovic. I think for this week, I would avoid starting Richards against Liverpool. I'd probably end up going Milenkovic, especially against Sunderland. So yeah, sorry, Tayo. Hey Rob, how are you, mate? I currently can't walk, but I can come talk you into starting Rodon. You're gonna need to do that, mate. Just think Richards is a guaranteed 4. Well, it depends if Liverpool score goals. If they score 2 goals, then he's maybe a guaranteed 3. But he hasn't hit DEFCON every week so far this time. Morning, Dylan. How are you, mate? Doku or Foden on a free hit? I think I'd go Foden. Taking -8 from Verts to no -8s. Yeah, so looking at this team, sorry, Ty. I think Foden's nice in there as a bit of a differential pick for this game week. And Dye v West Ham, Semenyo leads, Kudus v Wolves. And then João Pedro up front against Brighton, Gyökeres against Newcastle, Haaland against Burnley. So what I would say here is I think Newcastle defensively have been really good this year. So I almost think that I would be playing Gabriel here over Gyökeres, given that Newcastle offensively have not looked fantastic so far this season. But also what I'd consider, considering you're on a wild card at the moment this season, is actually going for just like Manchester City defender. Against Burnley this week, I think they've got a really good chance of keeping a clean sheet. And they'd probably be, along with Everton, one of the teams that I would say I'm most confident in keeping a clean sheet so far this week. So yeah, I think you've obviously got Gabriel on your bench there, but that could potentially change to... You have some options. I think it would be risky to maybe go for like a Nico O'Reilly at fullback. But you could go for him. Otherwise, maybe like a Ruben Diaz at centre-back could be really nice. And then I'd start him over Gyökeres at the back and probably play 4-4-2. Again, João Pedro's one that on a wild card you could consider maybe taking a punt and going into like a Strand Larson at the moment. Wolves' fixtures from game week 7 onwards start to get a little bit nicer. But yeah, outside of that, I think Haaland as captain is nice. And Arsenal's fixtures from game week, I mean, really, Newcastle is a decent fixture. So if you'd like to have 2 Arsenal defenders longer term for sort of their nicer fixture run, I think I'd just play Gabriel over Gyökeres here. I think I'd just play Gabriel over Gyökeres this week. Potentially even... Would you even consider a Man City triple up offensively? Reinders, Haaland and Foden? I feel like if you've got all 3 of them in your team, you're going to be looking to be playing... You have to consider playing all 3 in a week. Otherwise, why do you have all 3 of them in your team at the moment? Enjoy your coffee, Paul. So I think you got like your thoughts here. Maybe you keep the Gabriel and Gyökeres. Don't look for a Man City defender here. Given that after the next 2 weeks, their fixtures are not as nice. But I think if you've got triple Man City attack, you've got to be willing to play them in a game week like this against Burnley. Otherwise, there's no point having the triple Man City attack. So in my opinion, I'd look to maybe move a Reinders or a Foden and play the other one this week. So it could be the case that maybe you play Reinders, you move Foden to like a Brian Mbeumo or a Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, United have like quite nice fixtures over the next 5 weeks. They got Brentford and Sunderland before a difficult one against Liverpool, and then Brighton and Nottingham Forest. So Bruno or an Mbeumo are both reasonable picks going forwards. The other one I would think about, would you suggest Reinders or Gabriel over Gyökeres to start? Look, I think if you're like personally, I don't like triple upping on attack, Tayo. But I think if you've got all 3 of them, your thoughts are that you've got to be willing to play all 3. So you either move a Foden to a Bruno or Mbeumo and then play them over Gyökeres, or you move them to like a Newcastle attacker like an Anthony Gordon and you bench him this week and you play Gabriel. So I think you either play Reinders over Gyökeres or you move Foden out for a Bruno and Mbeumo and Anthony Gordon and you play Reinders this week. Or you play a Bruno and Mbeumo, but if you go for a Newcastle player. Just covering that missing penny from last week. Rob, you're such a legend, mate. Thank you so much. And to be honest, last week... for those of you that weren't on my stream last week, there was a bit of drama where I lost a bet to one of the subscribers. So he had to pick what week I triple captained. He picked last week, and then there was super chat in the chat for who my triple captain had to be played on, which ended up being on Virgil van Dijk, which was a tough result for me. Although in the end, I probably would have played it on João Pedro. So I got to say, Rob, you probably saved me. I don't know how many points would that say. You probably saved me about 6-7 points in the end. Cyrus, yeah, I'll add your team ID onto the list, mate. No problem. So yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking, Tayo. Hopefully that helps with your team, mate. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'd be looking at. Dylan, would you bring Isak in? I've got enough cash to transfer him in for Ekitike. Yeah, I think Palace is actually a difficult week for Liverpool, to be honest. I think Palace are solid defensively, have been doing well, but I think Isak has enough for 60, 70 minutes this week. What I'm actually doing in my team, which might not be the best option, is I'm just leaving Ekitike on the bench. I do have the money to bring Isak in as well. I've just decided not to go for him at the moment. During the stream, you guys might convince me otherwise, but right now I'm sort of sticking with my team. Big Ange, I'll pull you up on the screen, mate. Back in the Premier League, old Ange Postecoglou, back on my screen. What a man. Do I have any other team IDs in this? Cyrus. And then Hashim in with the early 1 digits. Love to see it, Hashim. Love to see it, mate. 1361742. Six two four five six zero. Of course, if you do want to skip the queue, super chats or membership is the way to do that. And I will be doing some giveaways at the end of this stream. So make sure you're here at the deadline. As soon as that finishes, I think I'm going to be doing at least 2 giveaways today. I think I said last week I would do 3. So if one of my members or people in the chat reminds me that I did say that, I will be doing 3 giveaways at the end. Which app is this? This is FPL.GameWeek, free app. I'm one of those people who only suggests to use free apps. I don't think you do need to pay for any of these websites like FPL Hub or anything like that, regardless of how all the other content creators make money off them. I don't think you need to use that. I think you can play FPL without signing up to any of these free websites, paid websites. And if you do want to pay someone for great advice, you can sign up to be a member of my channel and I'll give you much better advice than some of these dodgy sites. You also, with me, will have access to a free FPL API spreadsheet where it has all of the data automatically updated for you as soon as the games are done. So you will be able to see all of that good information straight away. Okay, Luca. And if you were interested in what that sort of looks like from an FPL perspective, this is the sort of data that I will be able to make available for you guys. You'll be able to see all of the players split by price points, all of their points, goals, assists, expected goals, all of that, all in one table. I've got that across the forwards, midfielders, and defenders for you. This gets automatically updated via the FPL API as soon as anything happens. As soon as the points get loaded into FPL, this goes immediately through into my spreadsheet, and I make this available via Google Drive to members that have signed up. So you will be able to see all of that stuff. I also have fixture difficulty trackers that I make myself for attack and also for defense, which I obviously think are different from both sides. The fixture difficulty trackers for both of those that you will be able to see. So if you are interested in signing up for membership, I think that is quite a good perk. All right, let's carry on. And here comes the son, Luca. Any transfers that you've made this week, mate, or nothing that you've done? Let's have a look if you said. So at the moment, from what I can see, you got 3 free transfers, and I'm just going to quickly while we're talking this, I'll just answer some of the questions in the chat. Doku or Foden on a free hit? Ayush Das. I would have gone Foden. Cap already done his transfer. CR7 LM10 playing your wildcard this week. If you can send it to me, mate, on Twitter or Instagram, I can pull it up. Luca, add to the queue for when you come back. Yeah, no worries. Maybe I'll bring in Cyrus if that's the case. I can pull you up, Cyrus. Cap C, is Tavernier a good punt? I do like Tavernier. I think he's really nice playing in that almost that 10 role that Clivert used to play in for Bournemouth. I think really looks really nice. Teo actually asked, do you think my defenders are good? I was considering Spurs or Newcastle defenders, but yeah. I forgot who you had there. I think you had Anderson, didn't you? Yeah, I wouldn't have minded like a Dan Burn or I wouldn't have minded a Dan Burn. Spurs wise, yeah, Dan Burn. Yeah, I think Spurs and Newcastle, to be honest, have better fixtures than a Fulham. I definitely like Gabriel. Trying to think who else you had. Chris Richards. I think Palace at the moment, their fixtures are not brilliant from a defensive standpoint over the next few weeks. They start to pick up again later, maybe towards sort of game week 12. But I would say if you have the money to upgrade like a a Richards and or an Anderson, I would upgrade to a Spurs or Newcastle defence. Yes. FPL.gameweek is the app. It's just a website rather than an app. Hamza Hassini, Munoz or Lacroix for long term. Long term Lacroix. As I've said, long term you should be looking at DEFCON players. Short term you can go for the attacking upside fullbacks. I know that hasn't worked for a lot of people so far at the beginning of the season, but I definitely think that that is obviously the higher upside option. Is short term going for attacking fullbacks, but long term the DEFCON defenders will outscore those attacking fullbacks. Adam Hub reckons I bench Munoz and play Anderson. Must be the DEFCON points. Yeah, that's right. That's what it would be. I agree with that as well. I would probably bench Munoz and play Anderson. But especially like he's playing Aston Villa. Like Villa have been appalling going forwards. They're struggling to score goals. So, is this Anderson Fulham Anderson or Anderson Nottingham Forest Anderson? Sorry, I have to. ON you said, so I assume you put. Yeah, I'd probably play Anderson anyway. Munoz. You think you should start Munoz? I guess what I would say that Hub definitely won't take into account is that Liverpool's weakness has been at left back. I think Kirkez has been the weak link for Newcastle for Liverpool this whole season. He's been really struggling there and does struggle sometimes with a little bit of pace in behind and does struggle to recover into position well. So if there is somewhere that Palace are going to expose Liverpool, it is down Palace's right-hand side, which is Munoz's side, and Liverpool's left. I do think Liverpool score, but I think that there is a chance that if Palace are going to get attacking return, it comes down that right-hand side of Munoz. But I also think Anderson's been like pretty good for Forest, like getting into nice positions, playing some good passes, has chances of picking up attacking returns as well against Sunderland. So I think if you have a big feeling for Munoz, that would be my sort of positive side of the Munoz shout. I think you can definitely go for him. And I guess the upside is higher with Munoz. If Palace manage to keep a clean sheet, Munoz can still get an attacking return. Like the upside is a little bit higher. I think Anderson scoring a goal and getting DEFCON points is probably a bit more unlikely for me. Cyrus, if that's your old team, if you just send me your, why don't you send me your team on Twitter or Instagram? I can pull it up. Robert, main fear against JP. Main reason I fear against JP is his EO. I don't like EO is just not a thing to be worried about really, unless it's captaincy. Like EO is not a thing to care about, in my opinion. Like realistically, you're trying to pick the best team to score the most points possible. if you're like one of those people that are just trying to play safe and concerned about your rank, and like you have to have a. It depends what your goal is in FPL. If you're trying to win FPL, you shouldn't be concerned about EO. If you're just trying to get sort of a rank in the top 100k, then fine, EO is something to consider. Robert's scaring me. I shouldn't have brought him in then, right? I don't think Clivert's got himself into that Bournemouth side yet, to be honest. Hey Cross, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you back. EO is effective ownership. So, for example, João Pedro has like 60% of people have picked him in their side. So a lot of people are scared to go without him because if he does well, like your rank drops so significantly. Yeah, Hashim, mate, I'll just pull you up. Sorry, what was your ID again? 64,560. Yeah, Cyrus, if you send me your team on Twitter or Instagram, mate, I'll pull it up after I'll just do Hashim now. So Hashim, 2 free transfers. Have you made any transfers this week or no? Any short-term punts for defender planning wildcard 8? That is interesting. It'd probably be Tottenham, mate. Wolves and Leeds, 6 and 7. I know Rob won't like to hear that. But that's probably quite nice. Otherwise, Everton, Tarkowski, West Ham and Crystal Palace. Or you can back Aston Villa. Fulham and Burnley. So, yeah, I guess my short-term punts probably be Pedro Porro, James Tarkowski, or maybe Matty Cash. Matty Cash for those 2 game weeks. That is probably what I'd be looking at, mate. Ekatike, Haaland, Salah to Bruno are the two transfers. Okay, I mean, you've made them, have you? I think that's 2 good transfers. Very similar to what I did this week. So yeah, I'd be looking Raya back in goal this week against Newcastle. Virgil, Lacroix, Senesi. I'm not huge on Caicedo personally, but Caicedo, Semenyo, Bruno, Xavi Simons, Haaland, JP, Mateta on bench, Harvey Elliott on bench, and then the question is, do you play Munoz or Rodon? Caicedo's so underrated. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Hashim. I think you're probably right. I think he's just not seen. I mean, personally, I think Caicedo's a fantastic footballer, like brilliant footballer. Breaks up the place so well. When he plays right back for Chelsea, inverts into that DM role just amazingly well. Bonte, what's up, my guy? How are you? It's that COVID cough. But yeah, I mean, I think in this team at the moment, you're definitely playing him this week. Yeah, I think the decisions between Munoz and Rodon. I think Lacroix is going to get DEFCON points against Liverpool, so you're going to have to play Lacroix. Rodon v Bournemouth versus Munoz v Liverpool. I think Rodon gets DEFCON against Bournemouth, like just the way Bournemouth play. Rodon's definitely going to get DEFCON points because there's just so many attacking turnovers in the Bournemouth games. It's a high transition game. Leeds also play like a little bit of like fast counter-attack football with their pacey players. So the ball's going to be ping, 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 very fast back and forth. There's going to be a lot of attack, which means there's going to be a lot of defensive contributions made. So I think I'm pretty certain that Leeds get and that Rodon gets those DEFCON points. And then, yeah, I think your captaincy's on Haaland, really. So I think I think it would be Virgil Lacroix, Rodon, Senesi for me. I think I would bench Munoz in this case. Yo, Bonty, not done your transfers yet, mate. Do you want to chuck your team ID in, and I can pull you up, Bonty? Edvix, how are you, mate? Yeah, I'm ups and downs, mate. Honestly, I caught COVID unfortunately this week, so I just feel like I've been in the wars recently. But at least I'm in a little bit more of a comfortable setup today. So I've got a second screen. It's a little bit easier to see everything. Yeah, Cyrus, if you send your screenshot on Twitter or Instagram, mate, that would be perfect, and then I can pull you up. I'll just bring you up next because I know that you had that problem. Star 9415883. And then in the list we've got Rob. I have done transfer and can wait for my team to be down as well, mate. Okay. Cap C as well. 807447. So members. So I'll just do Bonty for. Hey Sam, what's up, mate? How are you? Bonty, I'll just pull you up first, given you're a member. So as everyone knows, members skip the queue. So if you do want to be seen first, you can sign up to membership. If you are an elite member, you of course get access to my WhatsApp group chat, which we talk all week about this sort of stuff. And my API spreadsheet, which I talked about earlier, has all of the like DEFCON datas, XG, XA automatically. So Bonty, plan is Salah out, Haaland in. Okay, and you got 3 free transfers. So why am I not seeing? Oh yeah, okay, Salah out, Haaland in. So the question is who you're bringing in Haaland for, I guess. I'm assuming it's going to be Watkins out, just given like how Villa are going at the moment. What are your options? I guess JP, Brighton, Liverpool, tricky, tough couple of fixtures for JP, but then their fixtures get nice again for like 5-6 game weeks. Chris Wood is a bit concerning because Igor Jesus has been really, really good for Nottingham Forest lately. So he is definitely someone that's on the chopping block for me. And the problem is Forest have Sunderland this week. But actually, I would say Sunderland have been one of the better defensive teams so far in the Premier League this season. So almost not somebody to target for me. Given I think they've probably only conceded 4 goals, which is like 4th best in the Premier League so far this season. So I think Watkins is still going to start for Villa. So the options are, and I think for me, I'd be looking to get rid of Wood. And I should never say that as a fantasy Premier League manager because he kills everybody that take him out for. So I think I'd definitely go Wood out and try and bring in Haaland. Bonty, what do you say? Do you just take out Watkins and Wood? Yeah, and I think if you do take out both of them, it does give you some options. And probably gives you a little bit more money for who you take Salah out for. And I think if you're taking Salah out, I think you've got some options for your team. So you've got Spurs midfielder. So you can go a Kudus or a Xavi Simons because like their fixtures are just like really, really nice. So you can definitely go Spurs midfield. You could look to go a little bit early into a Newcastle midfielder because I think from game week 7 onwards, we're going to start talking about Newcastle midfielders. We're going to start talking about Anthony Gordon. Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Brentford from 7 to 11. Then they have Manchester City and Everton in 12 and 13 and Spurs in 14. And then they just go on a magic run from 15 to 22. And I think that it will probably be like game week 16, those AFCON transfers, people will start to bring in Newcastle players, sure. But there is also, they do have a nice little run here from 7 to 11 that we should be aware of. I think you also have the option to go for like a sort of 2-week punt on like a Phil Foden. Also my plans, triple captain game week 6, wildcard game week 8. Okay, so you're going for a 2-week punt really. So I think I'd go Salah to Foden. If you're taking out Salah now, 6 and 7, I think Foden's the man. Manchester City, Burnley and Brentford, I think that's where you go to. I think you can definitely target those Manchester City players. I know you got Reinders as well. Or Spurs, because they got Wolves and Leeds. So, who are the best options for 2-week punts? Man United, you go Bruno or Mbumo. Spurs, you go Xavi or Kudus. Or City, you go Foden. Because I think you got Burnley, Brentford at City, which is nice. Like Burnley sit back against Manchester City. Like Manchester City can break down teams that sit back against them. Man United, Brentford and Sunderland. Brentford team's conceding a ton of goals at the moment. Sunderland, like, not so easy a game, but you don't know how long they're going to continue to be good defensively. And then Spurs, Wolves and Leeds, like, there are goals in those games. Whether or not Leeds score as well, yes, Rob, okay. But defensively, goals against, for Tottenham against Wolves and Leeds. So I think Salah can go to either one of those. But I'd also say, if you're going out of Watkins and Wood, you can go into Richarlison for a 2-week punt. Because Kolo Muani's not fit yet, Solanke's not fit yet, and although Ange said they would be on their way back to fitness, I think for 2 weeks, Richarlison could be really good, given he's guaranteed to start for Spurs here. Edvix, you're going to get some tea, no worries, mate. You're on the list, so definitely someone to come in for. So yeah, I think if you go Watkins and Wood out, you could go Haaland and Richarlison in up top. And then in the midfield, I think you could maybe go Salah to a Bruno or an Mbumo, and you can get that Manchester United one, or you go to a Foden. Oh, sorry, you have Bruno in that. Yeah, sorry. Bruno, Reinders, Semenyo, Jorginho. Yeah, I guess the issue is, like, you probably don't want to triple up on that City midfield. I'm guessing. Yeah, I saw you, Ange. Don't worry. I skipped you, and I'll come back to you. Luca. Sorry, even. I switched between calling you Ange and Luca. Hear me. Sorry, Bronte. I haven't been reading your messages in the chat. Let me go back. But I was wondering, do I check out Watkins and Wood as well? So obvious one is Salah and Watkins out, but what mid Salah? Hear me out here. Richarlison. Yes, Richarlison. Nice. I missed that as well. So we're on the same view. Have Bruno. I can do Salah with Watkins, Haaland, Foden, Richarlison. Yeah, I think your only issue there is you're on triple Man City. So if you're comfortable with that, I like it. If you're not, do I have another option for you in that midfield slot? Because I actually am really liking the 2-week punt for... Hey, Quex, what's up, my guy? I'll pull you up next, mate. Yeah, it's just that mid slot. Because I really like the Haaland... I like the Richarlison. I think suits your game plan perfectly. You've already got Semenyo. Don't want to go Villa. Alright, I tell you what, another little sneaky option is Jack Grealish. West Ham and Crystal Palace for Everton, 6 and 7. I think he's looked really good. I think he's looked really nice. Jack Grealish, you could look at Ndiaye, but I think Grealish is a little sneakier pick. Because Ndiaye, people generally are looking at him because of the penalties, but 2 weeks, is he going to get penalties in 2 weeks? Grealish, I think his stats have been crazy. Looking at Bonte's team for 15 minutes. Yeah, Bonte is a member though, mate. So I've got to give him a bit of extra tender love and care. If you join up, you can become one. Nick, how's it going? Is your health getting better? It's getting better, mate. My voice is probably getting better. My health is getting a little bit. Today is the best I've felt, so that's good. It was a bit of a tricky wake up, but otherwise fine. Irish Das going Evan Nielsen instead of JP. I like it. Kevin O'Donnell carrying 3 free transfers at wildcarding this week. Thinking of going Isak as 1 week punt and moving back to Gyökeres next week. I think Isak definitely plays this week. He plays 60 to 70 minutes. I think a difficult week against Palace, like if you're punting. I'd almost punt on like a Richarlison or a Cunha or a Mbumo. I even like Wilson Isidore, to be honest. Do everyone before me, mate. Okay, Rob, no worries. Will you be ready for your first game? Yeah, end of October. I've got our Spain tour has been currently on hold, so it won't be till late October that we're playing in Cyprus. All right, well, cheers, mate. I'll stay in the stream, but I'm definitely doing 3 free transfers this week. Salah, Watkins, Wood. Yep, I think that's good, Bonte. I think those are the options. Like what we discussed there. Have a think about what you want, and we can talk about it a little bit later on, as well. All right, Quex, you're up, mate. 2660313. How are you, Quex, mate? How's your week been? Let me just read through some of the chats just to make sure that I haven't missed anybody as comments or team IDs, which I often miss in the chat. Do you know what? I'll talk to you about this another time, Paul, when you're back, but it'd be good as moderator if you could put some of the lists of who's put their team ID in the chat. But yeah, no problem if you can't do that. Okay, I'm just running through these. Cyrus sent on Twitter. Okay, mate. Madhukar going to do Pino to Foden, Watkins to Richarlison, Tracy Haaland, like that. Who do I go for? I am a Liverpool fan. My brother's a Palace fan, so they're probably my local side here when I'm in England anyway. So I definitely enjoy going to Palace games. Sam Fury, my triple captain on Haaland's active, seems too good an opportunity with so many people wildcarding. I think it's a good opportunity. I also think Haaland against Brentford next week is equally as good an opportunity for the wildcard. For the triple captain. I think could be even better than Burnley, but let's see. If you're wildcard gaming, I think I've Foden or Boomo for 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll get some tea. Angeball was on point at the minute, eh? Angeball's man. Dusty! Hey, Dusty, man, it's been so long. It's nice to have you back in the chat. I haven't seen you for a while. -4 to get rid of Wood or Ekatike. Have no free transfers and worried about Wood's minutes. Yeah. I wouldn't take the -4. I'd just play Wood. And I'd make the transfer next week, Dusty. I think -4 for a striker is not what I'd be looking at the moment. I just think no striker I like that much. And if they score 1 goal, that's still just the -4. So I'd just stick with Wood for now. I'd make the transfer for free next week with a bit more information. It's good Rico isn't here before he makes another bet. Yeah. I'm all for the bets now. I need to get some more bets in the chat. So yeah, just to shout out the order, we got Luca, Cyrus, Cap, Star, Edvix, Cross. So that is the order, but we'll just obviously do the members as and when they come into the chat. And Rob, whenever he calls and tells me. All right, quick. So no 1 free transfer this week. 1, Two free transfers this week. Sorry, is this also a Haaland in, Salah out, or what are your sort of plans today? Your team's been a pain this year, yeah, I can see. But you haven't used any chips, so you've got a way to come back. And I think looking at the team, you got Pedro Porro at the back, Rodon, Milenkovic. I think those guys probably all stay, unless you're going for a sneaky Estev Defcon. Midfield, I don't really like Neto, but you only got 2 free transfers, so it'll probably just a Salah out, Haaland in. And Dye, Xavi, Watkins, Gyökeres, Wood. And when are you looking at playing this wild card, mate? Is it going to be like a game week 12 one, or game week 11, game week 12 for that fixture swing? You sort of held out quite long now. Or are you going game week 7 next week, Arsenal fixture swing? Because I think in midfield you're going to go whoever you move Salah for, and Dye, Xavi, Reinders, and then Neto versus Wood is probably going to be your... You play Gyökeres, you move out Watkins, probably. Or do you move out Wood for Haaland? Don't bring in Palmer, Bonte. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, okay. I won't bring him on. Maybe wait till 12 to see my best picks. Okay, I think in that case, you could just take out Wood, to be honest, mate. Maybe you go Salah down to someone and Wood up to Haaland. Because I think, like, I know Watkins has been in terrible form, but he's at least going to play. And you can still get rid of him in the future. Whereas Wood, I think, is a tricky one. Oh, I can't believe I'm advising someone to get rid of Chris Wood. But I honestly think that's what I would do. I honestly think that's what I would do at this stage. I'd probably go Wood out to Haaland and then Salah down to... And if you're wildcarding in 12... If you're wildcarding in 12... Salah to... Who's nice in that midfield? It's a shame because Forest don't have terrible fixtures. Yeah, it'd probably be to like an Mbumo, Cunha, Fanat, Bruno. I think that's where I'd go. I think United have really nice fixtures over the next 6. They got 2 tricky ones and maybe 3 nice ones and 1 mid. I would say Sunderland are almost a mid now because they've been defensively pretty good. Otherwise, maybe a Gakpo. I like that. Gakpo's an interesting one. That bringing that one to your attention as well. Bonte, Gakpo as a nice pick for Liverpool. That slot in the midfield, I think, is not too bad. But I think you were 2-week punt, so Crystal Palace and Chelsea not the best fixtures for that. But I think longer term, Gakpo's nice. Yeah, I think United or Gakpo for you, Quex, is what I'd look at. When do I think it's best to wildcard? I'd have to put your team into a plan FPL, but I think my 2 times would be really like now/game week 7, Arsenal fixture swing, or game week 11. I say, like, if you look at my... If I pull it up quickly. If you look at my planner. If you look at my planner, I say, like, you can see the sort of the fixture swings here. Which I think makes it quite nice. And I think 11, if you go in... often if you go in a week early to that wild card, it's generally quite good. It's the same for the defensive ones. Like, the swings are around 11, 12. So I think that is an optimal time. But yeah, 6 and 7 again is the other side of it. Maria's still out this week. Yeah, that's right. John Spencer, hey mate, how are you? Star, we got a few to go before you, mate. Brycey, my boy, how are we? We are all selling Salah this week. Except for Rob. Rob, mate, do you know what's real funny? Is I was looking at the runs of games at the moment, and I came to the conclusion, and you'll laugh. I came to the conclusion that Leeds is a good offensive pick at the moment, and maybe I'll show that on screen quickly, and why I actually don't mind Leeds as a offensive pick. And you're Dom Calvert-Lewin, I'm all right with. I looked at this for a while because I was like, surely this can't be right. But these Leeds fixtures right here from 6 to 12. Attacking side. Mate, 6 to 11. They're all right. Bournemouth, Tottenham, Burnley, West Ham, Brighton, Nottingham Forest. That is not bad, mate. I don't mind that at all. Rob, mate, thank you so much. What a legend. Big up the Leeds. Big up the Leeds. Big up the Leeds. What a man. Thank you for your donation, mate. You're an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Love having you in the chat as well. Very helpful to everybody around. Are we all on TC then? I think a lot of people are on TC. Unless Rico's in the chat, and he's probably not on there. Foggy, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Axis is why I kept Salah. Really? Mad. Liverpool has United in 3 weeks. Guaranteed hat-trick. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. Salah always bags goals against them. Hey, FPL Hippie. How are you, man? Good. Thanks for coming back into the chat, buddy. Good to have you back. All right. I think Quex. Maybe wait until it's 12 to see your best picks. Yeah, I think Quex, considering you've waited this long, I think your team's not too bad for game week 7. I think if you can look to sort of get in a little bit of Arsenal defence, that would be nice over the next few weeks. Otherwise, yeah. I think what we said probably works for you. Let me know if you got any further comments on that. Otherwise, Luca, you here? You are next in the chat. Next on the list. Sorry, John Spencer 32721. All right, so far it's Luca. Then I've got Cyrus that sent me separately. And then Cap, Star, Edvix, Cross, and John is my list. If you didn't hear your name and you were there, you tell me I'm a stupid idiot that's forgetting things. Greetings from Ireland, John. Nice one, mate. Didn't know you from Ireland, mate. Didn't know you from Ireland. Got a few Irish guys that are joining. Yeah, Rob, you're whenever you want to be, mate. You are whenever you want to be. You just let us know. Quex, I just do the 2, mate. You've only got 2 frees. You only got 2 frees. Just be Haaland out and Haaland in for Wood and Salah to, like I said, I would say a Bruno, like Man United or maybe a Gakpo. Jack, my team is Verbruggen to Ooh, that's a lot of numbers, Jack. 2 free transfers, Selwood to Haaland, Diouf to 4-mil defender or Wildcard. Van de Ven, Conser, Rodon, Diouf, Sev. I'd probably Wildcard that team, mate. Probably wildcard that team, Jack. Defense is weak. I like to try and get into a strong defense at the moment, so that you have the ability to play 4 at the back when you need to. That is what I'd probably look to do. Donate a wheelchair to Rob. Yeah, tonight's your birthday drinks. Epic, mate. Enjoy. What are my thoughts on Tarkowski? I think Tarkowski's a good pick over the next few weeks. Everton fixtures are really nice, Lindsay, mate. West Ham Palace are good. Then you got City and Tottenham, which are not so nice. But then Sunderland, Fulham, Man United, again, some good fixtures for Everton. I think Tarkowski's a nice pick. All right, Luca, what are we thinking, mate? Hey, Christian, start Bern or Lacroix. I'd go Lacroix, personally. But I think tough picks, those two. They're not too far out. Edvix, no, we have, like I said, I've got Luca, Cyrus, Cap, Star, then you, then Cross, then John. I'll keep calling it out as we go. Luca, what are we saying, mate? Yeah, 3 free transfers, I can see. Double Palace defenders screwed me over. Not sure what to do because I have 5 players from Liverpool and Palace who play each other. Bryce, mate, send me a team ID and then you just come next as a member. So whenever you want to go, mate, just put the team ID in the chat. You skip the queue. Luca. Would I consider going with 7 wildcard? I would, Jack, but I think your team at the moment is like you can go a week early into it. I would look at Arsenal defenders, like even against Newcastle. I think it's good. I'd look at Arsenal defenders. You'd obviously bring Haaland in. I wouldn't go triple Man City because it's like 2 weeks that they have nice fixtures and then it gets a bit trickier. And I'd also look at Spurs. Yeah, that's probably what I'd be looking at. And maybe Newcastle as well a little bit earlier. Thanks, Bryce. I'll look at yours next. Yeah, 3 free transfers. So, yeah, I think the Triple Palace is tough. But I've got to say, once you get past this Liverpool game, then the Palace fixtures start to look a little bit nicer. Everton, Bournemouth. You know, Arsenal's a tricky one, but then Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, Man United, Burnley. Like, attacking-wise, Mateta starts to pick up a little bit after this Liverpool fixture. Munoz has been a problem, and I think considering you've already used your first wild card, he'd be someone that I'd look to probably bring out, Luca, just because I think you want to focus more on the DEFCON defenders for the long term. So I would probably say the transfers that I'd be looking at in your team. You got 0.8 mil in the bank. How do you even get the money? You'd like to get in Foden. I think your midfield looks nice though. I think Munoz is probably. I actually don't mind your team at all. I don't mind your team at all. I'd probably just play Senesi. I'd probably move Munoz to like an Arsenal defender, personally. But I think you can wait till next week if you don't like the Newcastle fixture. I think the Newcastle fixture is a good fixture. I think Newcastle have not been great offensively this year. Costa, my guy, what's going on? Need any tips for this week? Ooh, yeah. Talk to me about West Ham, mate. What are your thoughts? West Ham v Everton fixture. Do you think Everton keep that clean sheet? Tarkowski a good pick at the back? Or do you think the main man J-Bo comes back in and with Somerville now as well back in that West Ham side, are you looking nicer or no, you're going to lose? Yeah, I was thinking... I think you do look a little bit nicer with Somerville back on the left wing. No, Edvic's not next, mate. There's a few people before you. Thoughts on benching Gyökeres just for this week? Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I mean, honestly, my issues with this team are really only. I think Munoz should go to an Arsenal defender, Luca. But otherwise, I think you can almost just not make a transfer. I think unless you want to pick like a Spurs defender from Munoz, like a Van der Ven or a Romero, and play them this week, I think you just go Lacroix, Virgil, Senesi, or Rodon, if Rob can convince you. Lacroix, Virgil, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Gakpo, Kudus, JP Haaland. I'd bench Mateta. I'd bench King, probably, but he'd be first on the bench. And then, yeah, maybe I would move Munoz to a defender that I like for this week. So maybe I'd go to a... Maybe I'd go to a Romero or a Van de Ven. Spurs fixtures are very nice. Or a Tarkovsky, mate. Or actually, a Tarkovsky is not a bad option as well. Yeah, I think I'd play 4 at the back. I think 4 at the back is a very strong formation at the moment. I think taking the money out of the third striker, having 5 strong midfielders, plus Haaland and maybe like a 7.5 mil is going to be optimal strategy going forwards. I think a strong defence is going to be key. And if you look at like FPL, so like let me just, I don't know if it's going to be obvious on here. I won't show it, but like if you do look at the FPL website and you look at forwards, defenders, midfielders, maybe I'll show it as like a random website. Yeah, if we show it like this, and we just look at total points, and you look at forwards, right? You got 3 forwards above 30 points. You got to make sure you pick them to get the right ones. You look at defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 9 defenders above 30 points. Like, and like they're defenders that you would pick, like a Chalobah, Senesi, Calafiori, Timber, Burn, Livramento, Lacroix, and then Romero, Van de Ven on 28, 29. Like these are guys that you'd have in your team, and you see the forwards like how they fall off as well. You suddenly you only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You only got 8 above 20 points. So I really do think that this is probably the way to go going forwards, is it's going to become 4-4-2. Because the DEFCON points are so different. A reminder to like and subscribe down below if you haven't already, if you're watching this and enjoying it. But I really think that's probably the way that we're going to go. I think you just go GUI at 4.3, regardless of what Rob's going to say. Oh, yeah, there you go, Rob, DCL. Look, I do think Leeds, if you want to go for a cheap 5.5 striker, fine. But I honestly think you can go for a bench fodder if you have the money, and the rest of your team's fine. But I think if you want to save like 1.2 million, Goy's at 4.3 at the moment. That's a lot that you can spend then in the midfield. Sorry, let me read some comments. I haven't been looking for a little bit while I've been looking at your team, Luca. Bench 1, Tavernier or Wood. Shashank is what I'd go for. God, that has hurt me in the past, but not yet. We've still got a few more to get through. Phil Howell will park the bus. He seems happy to get 0-0 results at the moment. Leeds better Bournemouth State. Tempted, take him out. I promise, save your mental health. Who's that, Bonte? Who are you taking out? Woods minutes not doubtful after Jesus' brace midweek. Yeah, that's what I think, Shashank, as well. I think Igor Jesus could potentially take quite a few minutes off him. Remember Shaq starting in my team last week. João Pedro or Enzo? It'd be João Pedro for me, Dennis. Jack. What did you say? If I wildcard, when would the next best time to triple captain be? Probably game week 7, Haaland against Brentford. I think that's an even better week than Burnley, personally. Shashank, that's why I want to go for Tavernier as a differential. Yeah, I like Tavernier. I've been talking about him for a few weeks, actually. So you think you keep Mateta and Gakpo? I was thinking about Gakpo to Foden, but Gakpo is still a nice asset, maybe. I think you can go Gakpo to Foden. I don't have a problem with that. I think Gakpo's an okay asset for now. I think he's fine for the time being. Like he's in the Liverpool team. Liverpool score a lot of goals. So do Manchester City. I definitely think Foden's a good pick, especially for 2 weeks. I think either of those are fine. If you have that feeling about Foden, that's a totally fine pick. Giveaway is going to be at the end after the deadline, so come back for that kickoff. Or just stay around would be ideal. I'd appreciate it. Just notice as Murillo is out, I have to start one of Esteve or Guay against City and Liverpool. That's a tough one. Probably be Guay for me. I so disagree with Guay. That's fine, Rob. But I understand. Like, people are going to have different opinions. I just think that 1.2 million is quite useful. But I think it depends on your team. I think if you don't need it, you don't need it. But I mean, Calvert-Lewin could be your second striker, mate. Why have him as your third? Just have Haaland and Calvert every game. Cap, you're soon, mate. You are quite soon, actually. I think I've got Bryce, Cyrus, and then you. Slot said Ekatike is a striker, so Gakpo's minutes are fine too. Yeah, but I think Chiesa plays a little bit on that left wing. He's been looking really good for Liverpool so far. Having said that, you don't think 3 forwards is worth it? Would you sell Mateta or hold for his better fixtures? I think I'd hold for his better fixtures. I think the Palace fixtures get nicer. I think Mateta could be a nice pick over that period of time. Everton next week, I think it's all right. Bournemouth in 8, I think it's all right. Brentford in 10. But again, someone that, like, if you feel like you want to go to maybe like a Richarlison for a couple of good weeks, I think you could definitely sell him. Liked and subscribed. Thanks for your inputs. No, I appreciate Shashank, mate. Thanks for joining and being part of it. I think I've seen you on the chat before, unless I'm making things up. But yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate you. Capsy, I don't know why I'm in the list because I've done my transfers. Bonsi comes to a conclusion, kind of Salah, Walking Woods, Haaland, Richarlison. Now out of Foden or Kudus or Mbeumo. Yeah, I think that's a tough pick between the three of them. And hang on, thoughts on Mateta and King for Foden and Gui, or is that a waste of time? No, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, Ange. I like that a lot. I think that's very good. And then you play 3-5-2. Because I'm being realistic. Rob, mate, you're an absolute hero. Honestly, brilliant guy. I appreciate you so much, mate. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm being realistic. I think Calvert-Lewin, second striker, mate. Second striker. Haaland, Calvert-Lewin, the two-fight. And Gui is the third striker. Isn't he going to bang every week? Bournemouth, goals. Tottenham, difficult one in game week 7. Burnley, goals. West Ham, goals. Brighton, goals. Nottingham Forest, goals. Wait, I'm actually looking at this now thinking Calvert-Lewin is a nice option. Robert is being helpful today. Robert is always helpful, mate. And it's his birthday as well, so let's hope he wins the giveaway later. In fact, you know what, Rob? I might sort something out for you. How many person before me in the list? Start. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 before you. We have Cap, Cyrus, and Bryce, Cyrus, and Cap. Brycey, what is your team ID, mate? I didn't write it down earlier because I was just going to bring you up when you were ready. Or have you not put it in yet? Ask your brother how many goals Palace is beating Liverpool by today. That is not something I'll be asking my brother. His answer is it depends on the referees. He hates the refs, mate. He hates them. Bonty, where's Bamford when we need him? That's right. Bamford was so epic in FPL in the past. Also, Bonty, what a legend. Thank you, mate. I appreciate you as well. My members are epic. Honestly, I enjoy you guys greatly. Also, just generally in the chat throughout the week, fantastic. Talk a lot about fantasy football, and it's great. Really enjoying it. Cross, you are on the list, mate. It's Edvix, and then you, then John. I'll try and move a little bit quicker through them then. I'll pull up Cap now. Sorry, Cyrus. Yes, Cyrus. Cyrus, you're here, yeah? Are you still here? I think you sent it to me on Twitter. Cyrus, are you about? You send it to me on Twitter or Instagram? Oh, I see you sent me a message on Insta, Cyrus. Sorry. Oh, Brycey, you sent it me on Insta, did you? Nice. All right, you just come up then. And then we'll do Cap until Cyrus comes back to me. Okay. Do you know what's well funny about yours, Brycey, is you've got my face on the screen because you screenshotted it with with me up there, which is quite epic. So I'm just double showing off myself, which is lovely. Bonte will say thanks again if I didn't say. Appreciate you greatly. Thanks for the super chat. Have you heard Haaland is injured because he was watching your deadline and dropped a glass on his foot? Because he was like, shit, this guy is so fun. He was laughing so much, he dropped glass on his foot, smashed it, and he's out for the day. Lucas Hatchman, Richarlison, Bruno and Ndai, or João Pedro, Mbumo and Kudus. Richarlison, for 1 week, I would say Richarlison, Bruno and Ndai. Longer term, I'd go João Pedro and Mbumo Kudus. If you sign up today to be a member, I will be quiet about Leeds till international break, promise. Guys, please, someone sign up to be a member. Please. Please, we can get Rob to be quiet all the way through to international break. I need somebody. Save me. Save me. Bonte, I think Bonte, you would have had triple City. Am I right with your team? That was the problem with Foden. Otherwise, I think we would have gone Foden. Yesterday, I did as you suggested last week. I moved Ekitike and Salah to Haaland and Semenyo, and I added Watkins to João Pedro, thinking triple captain. Yeah, definitely can triple captain Haaland this week. I also think next week is a good week to triple captain Haaland against Brentford. $3 a month, I think. It's like the way I think of it is it's like 75 cents or like 50p a week. You could KFC for that. Could you actually get KFC for £3? That's crazy. Yeah, it's in Aussie dollars. It's $3 a month, which is like 75 cents a week, which is like 50p a week or something. Should I go Foden instead of Mbumo and then change my GK? Is your GK Donnarumma in there? That's what's hidden behind the list, Brycey. How many free? Oh, you're on Wildcard. Yeah, shit. Okay, let me have a look at this. This is a crazy team, by the way. Yeah, I think your GK should be Raya instead of Donnarumma, mate. I think double Arsenal is better. Like City, honestly, City don't have that great fixtures after the next 2 weeks. IMO, in my opinion. They got Burnley, actually, defensively, it's not too bad because they got Everton and Villa who have not been scoring. Yeah, maybe I don't mind it, City defense from a defensive perspective. But Arsenal's just so nice. Newcastle, West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland. Like, there's not a lot of goals in those next 5 games. And Arsenal have been the best defence in the league this year. And I think will continue to be so. Twister at meal, $3.99. Yeah, I used to get the... do they do the original tenders box in the UK? Or was it boneless banquet meal? That was my go-to from KFC. Cost of living in the UK is crazy. Yeah, I mean Australia's not too much better, to be honest, guys. But the weather is a million times better. And anyway, I won't talk about that on stream. And some guidance on perhaps a better defensive setup. Concerned with Van der Ven. Yeah, on wildcard. Yeah, what I'd say, I don't really like Guay at 4.5. I like Van der Ven. I think Spurs could be nice. I think he could be nice. I'd probably have Raya over Donnarumma, but I don't mind Donnarumma. I would ideally like to upgrade Guay. If you want the Palace, I would have Lacroix for the Defcon, or I'd have like a VVD also for the Defcon. I think that spot, that Guay spot, should be a team that have good fixtures and the guy gets Defcon. I think your defense should be strong, so much so that you should always be considering playing 4 at the back. And I think potentially you can save money in either the midfield or up front, and I would probably say up front is the best place to do it. And it would be between João Pedro and Richarlison, obviously, for me to downgrade. Potentially to a Calvert-Lewin. Hey, think about that, Robbie. Or like Guay at 4.3. I think I did a rough wildcard draft of what I was sort of looking. Yeah, Cyrus, I was waiting for you, mate, to come back. I'll pull you up next. Did you send it to me on Twitter? You sent it to me on Twitter, did you? Oops, sorry. Pricey. I can't see it on Twitter for some reason. Are you T7 on Twitter, Cyrus? Is that you? Star, sorry, mate. I'm still not with you. I'll tell you, Star. Trust me. I won't forget about you. If I change my Goku to Ra, should I go Foden instead of Mbeumo? Yeah, I think triple Man City is too much, mate. I think it's too much, especially on a wild card. I think it's too much. I'd stay with Mbeumo. I think if you were to do that, you'd have to go Foden over Reinders. But you obviously don't have the money to that, so you'd have to downgrade elsewhere. So you'd have to downgrade one of your strikers, which might give you the money to then also maybe upgrade a Guay. So I think the Foden pick is like, you've got 2 United midfielders. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I think if you do that, you go Foden, you take out Reinders, maybe you bring someone else in for Reinders. You go Foden over Mbeumo, and then you go Reinders to like Jack Grealish or something. No, you've got Ndiaye as well. You've got all the teams though. Maybe a Gakpo. Maybe a Gakpo in there. If you can go Gakpo and Foden. Bruno Fernandes, Gakpo, Foden. I probably prefer Grealish over Ndiaye, but Ndiaye's fine as well. And Xavi, that's a really strong midfield. You could play all 5 of them. Like, you could play Xavi Simons this week, and then you could downgrade a João Pedro or Richarlison. Random number generator. Okay, I'll tell you the answer, Bonty. Give me a second. The number is 2. I use Copilot. I don't like ChatGPT as much. Number was 2, Bonty. Robert likes Stack. Yeah, well, you could go Stack. Have a think, Bryce. Come back to me, because I think definitely some things to consider. I do think that Guay spot for me, I'd like you to upgrade it. And then I think you could go Foden for Mbeumo, maybe Reinders, to a Stack, or who did I say? I literally forgot who I just said, but you were probably listening to me better. Gakpo. Oh dear. Cyrus. Oh, you sent on Insta as well. Let me put you up then, mate. Hopefully that's helpful, Brycey. Give us a shout later in the chat when you've had a chance to think a little bit more. We still got an hour and a half. Hour and a half to deadline. Hour and a half to deadline. I would have started a little bit earlier today, but I was struggling to get up. All right, Cyrus. On wildcard, Pedro Porro, Senesi, Chalobah. Nice. Got Goy up top. Okay. You're going to have a very strong team here, aren't you? Wow. That is actually a mental fucking team. That's well nice. That is really... Shall I tell you that the best compliment that I say that you ever give to teams is that they look over budget. And this team looks over budget. But it's really nice. Here's my suggestion, Cyrus. Rodon over Goodmanson, because Rodon picks up DEFCON points for Leeds, and I reckon he'll get them this week. But obviously you're not going to start him. Mukiele versus Alderete. What do I think? Let's have just a little look at the DEFCON numbers. I think I'd go Alderete as well. 4 mil. No, yeah, I think you're right. I think I'd go Mukiele. And Mark Gui, yeah. Mark Gui is now an absolute enabler at 4.3. Goodmanson gets 3 bonus points at home. Yeah, I know he does. Yeah, he also scores own goals as well. I've got to be honest, mate. I don't really have many changes to this side. I think it's fucking really nice. Petrovic, 4.5. How are Bournemouth's defensive fixtures? Yeah, I mean, they look good as well. Defensive fixtures. I absolutely love it. I think this is almost the nicest wild card I've seen, mate. Honestly. I'd go Rodon over Goodmanson, the 4.0 mil for Leeds. So I think A, he's a lock for Leeds. B, I think he has the potential to pick up DEFCON. Outside of that, the only thing that I could even consider changing in this team is Pedro Porro. But I think if you like the Spurs, I think the Spurs fixtures are really nice. The only option really is you go Pedro Porro to more of a DEFCON defender, so like more of a Tarkowski, because Everton I think have some nice fixtures as well. But Spurs' fixtures are just so nice; they could easily keep 4 clean sheets in the next 4 games, barring maybe Leeds. Chalobah's obviously been unbelievable off corners, and Ndiaye could be a Grealish. I don't know if you have the money for that, but otherwise, Cyrus, mate, this is the brilliant wildcard team. Probably one of the best I've seen. Haaland and Salah, Bruno, Reinders, Richarlison, Semenyo, like it's mental. And if Richarlison loses his spot as number 1, you can go to Strand Larson. I really like this team. Yeah, you could go Pirate to Van de Ven. You could definitely go Pirate to Van de Ven. Or to Lacroix. Like, if you need to save some money and upgrade elsewhere, Pirate to Van de Ven. Bruno and Bumo, I like Bruno. No, but Petrovic at 4.5 is probably the best 4.5 option, I would say, for upcoming fixtures. He obviously, no clean sheet today against Leeds. Of course. All right, Cap, then Star. So, Star, you're coming up soon, mate. Stay with me. Don't take another nap. Hopefully that's helpful, Cyrus. I know maybe not entirely helpful because I just agreed with most of your team, but yeah, very nice team, mate. Very nice team. Those are my thoughts on it. I'm in the mall and watching you, Star. You're a legend, bro. Legend. Cap, what are your... So you've already made your transfers. What were the transfers that you made again? Haaland in for Watkins. Salah out to Semenyo? Or no, sorry. Salah out to Caicedo. Abdullah. Hey, Abdullah, what's up, bro? What's happening? You kept Salah. Are all your transfers? Tell me again. 3 frees, yeah, you had? Good game week last week for you as well. 676 in the world, you were. It's on Insta. All right. Okay, I had this team up for you, but I can pull up your Insta team. This one you, yeah? That's right. That's you. Have I still got the best batting average in the world? I am still the #1 batter in the world in T20 international cricket. That is right. It's still me. But do you know what? Maybe we should just double check. We should just double check. Like while we're here living a good life, and while we're on Cap as well, you know, he loves it. He loves it. He loves it a lot. He loves taking a break from his team to check out my cricket stats. I know he does. I'm nervous, mate. I'm nervous that someone's come along and knocked me off the top spot. Cyrus, yeah, I had to get rid of Kudus to free up budget for a defender and got Reinders. Yeah, I think Reinders is nice, though. Obviously, yeah, Kudus would have been beautiful, but... You're a Pakistan fan, hey? All right. Yeah, here we are, mate. Still at the top, boys. Still at the top. Look at that. #1 all time. T20 international cricket. That is me. Best batting average ever. Come at me. Here is Marcus Rashkovic. Here is Virat Kohli. What are you doing down there, Virat? Can't catch me. Can't catch me. 132. Killing it. Killing it. Anyway. What are we doing, Caps team? Abdullah's from Pakistan. What is my prediction for Asia Cup final between Pakistan and India? When I'm speaking to you, mate, I'll be saying Pakistan are going to win. Strike rate of 170, yeah. Yeah, Star, you are next after Cap right now. So let me tell Cap that his team looks nice and then move on because he loves it when I do that. So you've already made your 3 transfers, Cap, and I love Isidore. And I would probably play Isidore over Mateta this week. I would put Isidore in, Mateta first on bench. And yeah, that's good. I would actually make a change to your team. That's the change I'd make, mate. I think Sunderland have been good, mate, and the other thing I would show, other than my T20 batting record, which obviously is the best thing everybody wants to see, that I'm the goated batter. Please remember to remind me of this every week, guys. That was great that we pulled that up. I've got like 30 more days before this fails to become a thing anymore, and I can no longer show it on streams. This is what If we zoom in as well here. If we just look at the Premier League table, yeah, and we look by goals scored, like Sunderland up there, 3, 6, 7, 8. They're in the top 10. I know, like, it's pretty flat. You got Villa, Wolves, Newcastle, Leeds, West Ham, Burnley, Forest as the sort of the back end of that. And like, if you're looking at goals conceded, again, you got Sunderland up there in top 5. Like, they're doing all right this season. They're doing all right. And they're up against Nottingham Forest this week, who, again, if you look at this list, who have conceded some of the most goals this season. Nottingham Forest down there at the bottom of the list. So I think Isidore's nice. I think I would probably go for him this week. Yeah, I'd start him over Mateo. Guys, quick reminder, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe down below to the channel. Why have I not brought in Isak if I have enough points? I just think he plays 60, 70 minutes. I think Palace defence are good. I think Liverpool generally struggle against Palace as well. And I just figured I could bench. I could just bench Ekatike and play 4 at the back. I was pretty comfortable with that. I like this back 4. VVD, Lacroix, Senesi, Calafiori. I think Newcastle have not been great going forwards. But there has been some considerations for me to move Ekatike on. I'm just not sure who I'd want up top. Because I'm also thinking about trying to downgrade that striker option and upgrade King. So I'm thinking that I can make that move next week in game week 7. But at the moment I've already got 1 free transfer because I've already gone Haaland and Semenyo in this week. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at this week. Alright, Cap. Hopefully that's your team, mate. Yeah, swap Mateta with Isidore. That's what I think. Is what I said. Star, you're up, mate. Are you here? Ready to go? I'll wait for you because I know you're around. So if you're not here, I'll just fill some time talking rubbish. So yeah, after start, Edvix, Cross, and John, and then if you still want to go, put your Rob. I'd probably just put you up after that, mate. But yeah, otherwise put your team ID down below in the chat. Please, honestly, somebody, can you make Rob stop talking about Leeds until the international break and just become a member today? Does it count if I gift a membership to somebody? All right, Mo. Let's talk about your team, mate. There's a few people that I was hoping would join the stream today that I wanted to talk to because yeah, a few members that stood around. I like the other picture you sent. Yeah, thank you for zooming in on my face. Yeah, where is Rico this week? Right, I've narrowed it down. Foden and Bumo Ponti. That's nice, mate. You're almost there. I think in Bumo, mate. Go in Bumo. Shit, I have no idea. If you gift a membership, got to make a bet with me, mate. Fair enough. All right, Star, this is you, yeah? Wait, have I got the right screen up? Oh, sorry. Here you go. Have you made any transfers this week, Star? Was I satisfied with triple captain, man? Yeah, I wanted to laugh about that on this stream. Let me talk to Star first, then we'll talk about that triple captain. Bonte, honestly, I don't know. I think if you're willing to go triple City for a few weeks, then Foden, but it's a difficult one. Why did you get rid of the other guy? Who was the third one? The third option was a nice option. That was who I was thinking before. 2. No, maybe not. See you, Cap. See you in a bit. I think Salah and one of the strikers out, Haaland, Semenyo. Okay, so similar to the transfers I made this week then. You got 2 free transfers. Oh, yeah, that's a tough one this week, eh? So at the back this week, Van der Ven, Virgil, probably Pedro Porro as well. Probably Anderson. You could probably play 4 at the back this week, which means Semenyo, Bruno, and Dai, and Anderson or Sarr. Maybe Anderson. Sarr is back. He tends to cause Liverpool some problems as well with his runs in behind. So yeah, maybe I'd go Sarr. Sarr and Mateta. I'd probably take out Wood. I'd probably take out Chris Wood. I hate that call. I hate that call massively. I absolutely hate that call, but I'd probably take out Chris Wood. Next week they got Newcastle as well, tough fixture, and they got Chelsea and Bournemouth. I mean, there are some girls there, but it's not easy. Fixtures are not easy. And Palace, you got Everton, Bournemouth, Arsenal. That's also not easy for Mateta. Watkins, Fulham and Burnley. He's got 2 nice fixtures still. No, I don't think Haaland ownership will be 200 plus. Do you think it'll be 200 plus? So you think I shouldn't captain Haaland this week, is what you're saying? No, I wouldn't want to go against him this week. Which striker I take out for Haaland? You think, you're wildcarding game week 8. Okay, that makes a big difference then. Then I'd keep Watkins. I would take out... I'd take out Wood. Newcastle in 7's tough. Sunderland have been defensively decent. I'd take out Wood. I'd go Haaland. I'd bring in Semenyo. I'd play Haaland, Watkins, Salah... Semenyo, Fernandez, and Dai. One of Anderson and Sarr / Mateta. Anderson / Sarr / Mateta. You got to pick one out of those. And I'll play a back 4 of Joachim Anderson, Virgil, Van der Ven, and Pedro Porro. Play a back 4. So my bench for you would be Estev and 2 of Anderson, Mateta, and Sarr. And it would probably be... Or, no, do you know what? You could also bench Van der Ven if you felt like that. Triple captain Haaland? Yeah, I think triple captain Haaland is definitely a possibility. Or you could also triple captain him next week. I don't think you played both against Liverpool. I don't think you played both. I think you could play Sarr and Anderson, drop Mateta, drop Van der Ven, and drop Estev. I think you could do that. Or you play 4 at the back. What do you think on triple captain this week? I think it's a good week to play it. I think Burnley low block against City. City tend to break down low blocks quite well. I think City tend to struggle a little bit more with teams that are really trying to break hard on them. I think Burnley are a little bit more trying to keep possession and a bit more possession based and will struggle against City. But I think Brentford's a nice week for Haaland triple captain as well. So I think 6 or 7 is fine. Yeah, it depends if you want to go against the grain or with the grain. With the grain is game week 6. Foden or Kudus and Dye, which two? Foden and... How long for Jonesy? Fernandes to replace Palmer, yes. Yeah, it'd be Foden and Kudus, I would say, for me. If it's for 2 weeks, it would be in Dye. Just this week. And Dye. Just this week in Dye. Oh, just this week? Wow. Get all 3 of them in. What is the bench order? The bench order would be Esteve last, then Mateta second last, and then one from Sar, Anderson, Van der Ven. Sar, the midfield Anderson and Van der Ven. Yeah, I think Chelsea struggle with the way Brentford set up, but I think Brentford was set up differently against Man City. I think there'll be goals in that game. Cool. Good luck, Mo. Hope that goes well for you. Six. How to do your code, mate? Why do we always get this problem? Join my league, Star, as well, mate. Join my league. Six, you know what? I know your code, mate. I know your code. Because I'm a genius. So don't worry about it. I've added you to the list. 1857592, yeah? That's you, yeah? Brentford are Chelsea's worst team to face with a bad record against the Bees. Yeah, that's actually true. Awesome. Because you frequent my channel so much, mate, I knew this would be an issue. Yeah, Jonesy, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Nice to have you back on the channel, buddy. You follow the that guy that does the what's it called? He just does an AI team. Like, he gets AI to do everything for him. How's he going this season? Is he doing all right? It is quite interesting what he was doing. I was actually trying to do that earlier this year. I was trying to build I tried to build a solver for FPL, but I realised that the solvers just don't work because they don't take into account all the information. They give you like good info, but realistically, I can see all the info that a solver builds just by the stats. So I realised that the work that it was going to take to do it was not worth it, unless like I put it as something that would be part of my membership. Then I could be like, you can use this solver for your own teams. Which I am still considering, but I just thought it was a lot of effort for if people didn't like it. Foden or Reinders? Foden. Victor, I have bench problems. Can you help? Rodon versus Livramento and Dewsbury Hall versus Xavi Simons. Easy. Rodon, Xavi Simons. Play both of them. Bench Livramento and Dewsbury Hall. Bab Pubos. Benching dilemma. Already did Salah plus Gui, Haaland plus Rangers. Nice. Jonesy, I'm okay. Been struggling this week with chest infection and flu. I think he's doing okay. Better to do your own eye test. Mate, I also had COVID this week. So I think something's going around. So I didn't even know COVID was still a thing anymore. But unfortunately, my dad got it as well, and he tested for it. And then I was like, oh, got it as well. Radu, hey mate, welcome back. Who should I transfer in to replace Wooden and Doy with 0.6 million in the bank? I need to see the rest of your team, mate. That's not easy. But yeah, I mean, Richarlison, Kudus, DCL. Rob's piling into the DCLs. Okay, who is next on the list to do? We have Edvix and Cross and John and Suku. Any of you guys still here? Edvix still around? Thanks, would I play Dewsbury Hall over Enzo? Probably not. Probably not, Victor. I think Enzo has more routes to points on corners with no Reece James, on set pieces, gets himself in the box quite frequently. Nice one, Six. John, you're here. Okay, so Edvix or Cross, are you guys here? Because you were the first two in the list, and then it was John. If neither of you are here, I'll do John, and then I'll come back to you guys when you are available. Cross, yes. Excellent timing. Cross, you've been around for a while on my channel, haven't you? Leon, should I say? Leon, 5 free transfers. At one point, I think you're a member of the channel, actually. You might have been gifted membership. Or maybe you signed up to be a member. But yeah, I remember you've been around for a while. 5 free transfers is crazy. By chance, did you forget to do your team last week? You had Palmer in there, but he got injured June. He came off because of the red card, didn't he? No, so you would have had this. 5 frees. Okay, so you've always got like a little mini wild card. I was thinking a move from Pedro Porro to Van der Ven. Jonesy. Jonesy, hope you're feeling better, mate. Chest infection and the flu. Are you starting to get on the mend, or are you still feeling pretty bad? You were thinking, have I got the right team here, Cross? This doesn't feel like the right team. Can you flick me your team ID again? Maybe I wrote it down wrong before. Sorry, buddy. It's probably my own fault. Yeah, that is not your team. I was reading it like, Leon Gavin, who's this geezer? Sorry, mate. Yeah, just flick it over. I'll read Jonesy's message since he's here. Free hit team: Petrovic, Romero, Senesi, Calafiori. Calafiori, really? Kudus, Semenya, Rounders, and Dye. It's a bit of a wild free hit team, mate. Charleston, Haaland, Isak. You're benching Foden on free hit? You crazy? Why bother putting them in, Jonesy? What I'd say on free hit this week is that my picks for clean sheets are Man City, Everton, Man City, Everton are probably my top 2 picks for a clean sheet. Followed by Fulham and Spurs as my second 2 picks. So that's probably where I'd focus. I like Senesi. I think that's fine because he gets DEFCON. And then I would go Tarkowski this week. For sure would be in my free hit team. I'd probably have a... You're obviously big on Bournemouth, keeping a clean sheet as a lead. Rob's not going to like that. I'd potentially even have Pickford. And then I don't mind the Romero. I don't mind Senesi. I wouldn't go Calafiori against Newcastle just because I think attacking returns are not really there for Newcastle who are good defensively. I don't mind going for maybe a Gabriel off corner. But I'd probably go for oh, you've got Romero. Yeah, so maybe I'd switch Calafiori to Tarkowski at the back. Then Kudus, Semenyo, Reinders, I like. Ndai, I like. Richarlison, I like. Haaland, I like. I would maybe go Kudus to Brian and Bumo against his old team. And then just take some money out of the bench because you've obviously got Foden on the bench, which is wild. I'd probably played Foden over Reinders and just moved Reinders down to a 4.5 to save the money on the free hit. Cross 9-10. Mate, if you want to take your shower, feel free to take your shower and I'll just bring you on as soon as you come back, Cross, whatever you prefer. But I'll put your team in now. Surely Foden won't get full game. I'll just do you, Cross, mate, while you're here. Thanks, Jonesy. All right, Cross, Vicario in goal, lovely. I'll probably... Vicario versus Raya this week's difficult. It's actually difficult for me. Defence, Virgil, Lacroix, Pedro Porro. Wow, your defence is so strong. I sort of love that. I do love that. Anderson, Enzo, Kudus, Gakpo. Mate, how is your team this good? This is wild. João Pedro, Gyökeres, Haaland. This is really, really, really nice team. How do you have the money for this? You're actually bench boosting it. Yeah, well, I'm not bloody surprised, mate. Everyone looks good. I was looking at it like, who am I not playing? Fantastic week for a bench boost. Really is a fantastic... I don't think you need to make any subs. Do you have plans on what you wanted to do? Because honestly, this is I don't really see any moves that I would make on this team. Yeah, team value of 101.2. That's mad. 942k in the world as well, mate. You're strong, very strong. I think I'd roll, mate. I'd roll and bench boost. Pedro Porro to Van der Ven. You think it's worth it? I don't know if it's worth the transfer. Against Wolves, I think Spurs can score goals, which means that the attacking returns of Porro is he's been shambles at attacking returns. Van der Ven's almost had more attacking possibility. I don't think your team needs really any work anyway. So, you can afford to. You got 2 free transfers. You can afford to do Pedro Porro to Van der Ven if you think that's going to gain you points, to be honest, mate. There's no transfers that are imminent in your team. This team could easily just keep rolling for 6 weeks. Which obviously is what you're hoping for because you have played with your wildcard already. Yeah, I think bench boost Pedro Porro to Van der Ven is completely fine, mate. I think you could easily roll because of the DEFCON. Yeah, but Van der Ven's not been brilliant at picking up DEFCON. Let's have a look at what his numbers are on there. Obviously, he's more likely, but he's been 64953. He's not even got really close to getting them in any of the games. So I think if you're looking at it for DEFCON, I wouldn't go for Van der Ven. He's not really one of those defenders that tends to pick it up. I think Romero is slightly better at that than Van der Ven for DEFCON perspective. He is 18, 3, 7, 10, 5. So he's probably the way that Spurs play, and to be honest, I haven't really looked into their defense as much as I've looked into their offense. Romero is probably the one that goes to that first ball, and Van de Ven covers because he's got more pace. So he's sort of the covering defender, whereas Romero's the one that's like attack and win the first ball, the sort of guy that goes up for those headers. So yeah, I mean, for me, if you're going for a Van de Ven or Romero, it would be more for the goal threat off corners rather than for the DEFCON points, because they're not like Spurs are not really a team that have been picking them up that frequently. Burnley. Then they've played Burnley, Man City, Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton. Yeah, and if they didn't pick them up against Bournemouth, they're not going to be a team that pick it up too much. Yep, I think so, mate. I think just hang on to the team, roll the transfer. I think you're looking good, mate. I think you're looking good. Enjoy your shower. Mbumo or Fernandez? I go Mbumo, mate, Jonesy. Sheriff El Hakim, hey Mo, how are you? Good to see you back. Timber or Watkins? Timber. Yeah, Timber. I mean, I think if you got Watkins, it's tough to mention, but he's been so poor. Radu, you sent your team, didn't you? Oh, you sent it again. Vicario, Senesi, Gabriel, Paris, Menu, Kudus, Ndoye, Bruno, Ndoye. And you wanted to move Wooden and Ndoye? You missing a striker? Oh yeah, Senesi, Gabriel, Paris, nice. Semenyo, Kudus, Bruno, and Ndoye is nice. And Ndoye is your issue. Ndoye to like a... there's no one at that price point. Can you get Ndoye up to Gakpo somehow? If you can get Ndoye up to a Gakpo, I think that would be nice. Otherwise, if you can wait a couple of weeks with Ndoye, you can maybe go to an Enzo Fernandez. Or you can go to like an Eze. Or you can go to an Eze. Hope that Arteta starts to play him in the number 10 role, which is where I think he should be playing. Yeah, Romero's probably better than Van de Ven for DEFCON cross, by the way, mate. But yeah, keep it up. Great stuff. Okay, next up was John, then Sux and Edvix. Remember, if you are here, to give us a shout, mate, because we skipped over you, but definitely can come back to you if you're around. John, any thoughts for and Wood? Yeah, I think just leave Wood for now. I don't think you need to make the transfer immediately. I would be considering downgrading Wood and upgrading elsewhere. Like, Wood's on your bench anyway, you're not playing him, so I guess you don't really need to make the move. If you want to, you can go to Strand Larsen. I think Strand Larsen's a nice, like, cheap one, or Calvert-Lewin. I'm actually recommending Calvert-Lewin as a genuine potential pick. Not just because... I mean, Rob's probably ingrained it in my head a little bit because he just keeps saying the name all week. But, yeah. All right, John. Bought in Rangers for Paqueta. And that was your only transfer that you had available this week. Okay. So the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is in there. And we got Raya, Calafiori, Senesi, Virgil, I would probably play. Enzo, Semenyo, Gakpo, and old mate Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Grealish, 5 there. And then Gyökeres, like, wow, you're tough. You played bench boost? Yeah, you played bench boost. It was actually, you had a quite a nice week for a bench boost, actually. Yeah, so bench Munoz, you're going to have to bench Radon. And then that last bench pick, probably got to be Enzo or Gyökeres. Probably. You just want to spread the risk a little bit. Look, I would say it depends a little bit on how you... John, by the way, you're doing unbelievably well, 10k in the world. Like, keep up the great work. I know, tough week for you last week. I think it depends on like what your goal is. If you want to go maximum upside, then you play Enzo and João Pedro. If you want to spread the risk a little bit, if you think Chelsea's a better fixture, if you want to spread the risk a little bit, maybe you play João Pedro and Gyökeres. But I would probably bench Gyökeres. John. Triple captaining Haaland, brought in... triple captaining Haaland. Putting Gyökeres and Munoz... Yeah, so I think that was what I would do as well. I'd go Gyökeres first on bench, Munoz second. But yeah, I mean, if you want to like hedge the risk a little bit, then I think you could bench Enzo and play Gyökeres, and then like have like attacking players from different fixtures. So like, for example, if Chelsea blank, you still got a chance in that Arsenal-Newcastle game. But my thinking for Gyökeres, and like I maybe haven't articulated that on this stream so far, is that I think that Newcastle have quite strong defenders in terms of physically strong defenders, and I think Gyökeres has struggled up against defenders that have bullied him around a bit. And I watched an interesting sort of podcast that Rio Ferdinand did, and he talked about how he looked a bit nervous to get across the defenders because the defenders were giving him a lot of physicality. He sort of took it a little bit wider with a few touches and wasn't as direct towards goal, and that cost him some opportunities to score, which was quite interesting. I do think he will improve as he goes along, but I have heard a lot of people talk about Gyökeres as he's not quite the cut out for being the star in the Prem, but I think he looks nice. But yeah, I think Newcastle will be a tough game for him. No one is talking about Dan Burn as a defensive pick. From next week, everyone will start talking about Newcastle. 100%. Newcastle assets will all come in from game week 7. Everyone's going to start talking about it next week. I think there's some very good options in that team. Mkaki, should I triple captain Vicario? No. If you want to triple captain a random player, it should be a defender, such as Virgil van Dijk. Oh, yeah, so Virgil van Dijk. Actually, probably saved me quite a few points last week ending up going for him. So, Rob, I probably owe you, mate. I probably owe you. Guys, also, there's 45 minutes now till deadline. So, get your questions through. Let me know in the chat. Put your team IDs in. I'm going to do Suku, and then I'm going to do Rob, because I just want to do him. Rob, can you chuck in your team ID into the chat? Oh, you send him on Twitter. Okay, cool. 6, you around, man? I'm going to run through your team now. 4 point. Yeah. It actually saved me, because I was going to go João Pedro, who got 1 pointer last week, or 2 pointer last week. So I got an extra 4 points from VVD. Man, I was gutted when I saw the chat that he conceded. I actually had like a little bit of hope that if he had got clean sheet, he'd have got bonus, and he'd end up with I'd have ended up with like 21 extra points. It would have been crazy, or like 18 extra. It would have been crazy. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm on the comeback. Don't worry. All right, so Sanchez is back, so you're probably still playing him this week. Nico Williams, Tarkowski, Pedro Porro, and then I think you got to play Nico Williams against Sunderland over Munoz against Liverpool. Xavi and I, you got 2 free transfers. Have you? I'm assuming you haven't used them yet. Xavi and I, Anderson Wirtz, JP. Xavi and I, Salah. Anderson probably plays. Wirtz might have to go. I think Wirtz has got to go. I think Wirtz has got to go. I think Wirtz could go to Foden. I think Wirtz could go to Foden. I think Wirtz could go to Bruno or Mbumo. I like Mark Gui on the bench. 2.4 mil in the bank. Where is the upgrade here? The upgrade is probably Anderson, eh? So 2 frees. You got the potential to go Wirtz and Anderson out. Would you be able to go to Foden and Mbumo? Or just bring in one of those two, and then next week look to potentially get Anthony Gordon in for the Newcastle fixtures. And then like next week could be like Anthony Gordon plus upgrade one of your defenders. Probably Nico Williams. You could look to upgrade him to like a Gabriel, a Timber, or a Verge. But I'd probably go to Arsenal defender from next week. I think I like that the best. I think like Wirtz to Foden or Mbumo. Or Bruno if you'd prefer Bruno. And then next week look to go like maybe Anderson to Gordon and Nico Williams to like a Gabriel or Timber. I don't know about the money for that. If you have that, maybe you can do a quick check. Yeah, because I think you do need to upgrade like one defender a little bit. You got Pedro Porro, Munoz and Tarkovsky, I guess. But yeah, if you did have the money to do that, it would be nice. If you had the money to just go Nico Williams up to a Timber Calafiori or Gabriel and Anderson up to a Gordon, that would be sweet. What's Foden and bring Gordon next week? Yeah. Niels, any team news? Excellent question. Let me do some research. I always forget Ribena27. Who is that? Who sends me? Who is it that sends me that? Is that Rob? Is that you, Rob? That's you, yeah? For some reason, I always forget that is you. That's your team. I know your team better than I know the name of your Twitter account. Should I? Hey, Edwin, what's up, bro? Niels, I'm just looking for some team news now, mate. So should I punt a captain on Foden? I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Well, just note that he normally comes off a little bit earlier. He does normally come off a little bit earlier. I don't mind, like honestly, like the Salah's not going to be captained by a lot of people this week. Probably going to be relatively like low captaincy. So if he does come off as a captaincy pick as well, he's going to be like a big gain for your rank. Paul, you're back. Or have you been here the whole time? Sorry, I'm looking for team news at the moment. I know I just went deadly quiet. I haven't seen at the moment. Just FYI. I know there was some dramas around a few weeks ago when the content creators went really quiet and they found out all the team news. But I promise that's not the case. Brentford United early kickoff. That's all you can. Yeah, I don't really have at the moment sources for United. Do I? Don't have a good source for Man United. Obviously, maybe this will have something. I guess. Do you mean team news in terms of like just general, like who's in and who's out? Because if that's the case, then yes, plenty that is coming up on the top of the screen that I guess we can talk through as well. Amad Diallo's out. Gatekeeping is not. Oh, Bonte, he's gone. Who's he gone for? This is very important, Bonte. Foden, he's gone for it. The triple up. Yeah, so probably key team news. And if let's start at the beginning. I'll push it up. I'll push them up on the screen now, and we'll talk through each of the teams. So Arsenal, Odegaard possibly back. Saka available despite coming off midweek. Aston Villa, Barkley and Arnold Tielemans all out. Emi Martinez has a slight injury. I reckon he's not going to play. I reckon Bezo will play. Bournemouth, not really much Cook sort of potential, but no real main news. Brentford, still the same. Reece Nelson with a possible injury. He might not be back. Brighton, Hinchelwood is still out. De Kuyper's back. Gruder's back. Minte's available. Gomez, who scored the hat-trick in midweek, has potential to be starting this week. Yeah, Timber's good to go. Yeah, sorry. Let's continue this. Burnley, no main news. Ugachukwu comes back from suspension. Brun Larson should really be fit actually on there. Lavia, Badiashile, Gui, not really any updates on whether they're 100% fit or not. My guess is they won't play. But Tosin's out, Palmer's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Fofana is out as well. So you think that if Badiashile does have the ability to get back, he's going to have to come back for Chelsea because they are missing 2 key defenders at the back for them, or 3 really with Colwill as well. So I guess bear that in mind if you've got like a Sanchez in goal and you've got another goalkeeper that's decent. Bonte, only pickle left is just Gray or Esteve. I reckon Esteve is guaranteed DEFCON. Yeah, but he could also be guaranteed to concede 5. Whereas I think Gray's more likely to potentially keep a clean sheet against Liverpool. As much as I hate to say that. Crystal Palace, Sarr's available, Nketiah's available, Wharton's available, Pino's available. They're all back and fit. Everton, Branthwaite's still out, Rolls out. Fulham, Kevin's back in training. He suffered a shoulder injury for them, which is why he didn't play last week. But he is back in training, I reckon probably for a bench role. Leeds, Perry and Nonto are out. Dan James is potential. Liverpool, Leone obviously suffered that long-term injury, so he's going to be out for a while. Ekitike is suspended after picking up 2 yellow cards and getting sent off for giving them the Messi in the cup and showing his shirt to the crowd. FYI, I think Ekitike has fantastic mental abilities. He is really calm, really like not a hothead. I've seen defenders bumping him, smashing him around in the Premier League and trying to get him to react. Doesn't react. I think it was genuinely a mistake that he made. Just got a bit carried away. I love to see it personally. Like I want players celebrating. think it was just a bit of a brain fade that he had already got a yellow card. I reckon he took his shirt off, then was like, oh shit. And that's what it looked like to me when I watched it. So Isak's going to start, probably play 60, 70 minutes. They maybe move Gakpo to centre forward and bring on Chiesa on the left wing. Or they just bring on Chiesa up top, because Chiesa looked really good for Liverpool lately. Manchester City, Kusanov's out, Aït-Nouri, Cherki, Marmoush all still out. Haaland is available, ready to go. Kovacic potentially might come back, but unsure. So I reckon Reinders is still playing in that advanced role. United, Martinez and Dalot still out. Cunha and Mount available. Ahmad also out for United with family bereavement, so he won't be playing. Newcastle, Gordon's back this week from suspension. Murphy is available despite his issues with his Achilles tendon injury. Shah, Wissa and Ramsey are all still out this week. Potentially, like Malik Thior might come in for Botman this week. There is a chance that happens after he's played for them. Nottingham Forest, Aina's still out with a hamstring injury. Murillo is out this week, and Douglas Luiz is also out for Forest. Sunderland, Reynildo suspension after the stupid red card he picked up last week. Dan Ballard is back and available. Ainin is still a possibility. And Diarra is also out again this week as well. With Casemiro, Ahmad and Mazraoui out, do you think Fernandes will again play in that deeper role? Yeah, I think he'll continue to play in the role he's been playing. Yeah. Tottenham, Kolo Muane and Solanke is still out. Pape Sarr is available. And then obviously the usual Kulusevski, Madison, Dragusin, Takai all still out. West Ham, Wan-Bissaka is still out for them. Souček is still suspended for them. And for Wolves, Strand Larsen is available, but not for 90 minutes. They said he'd play about 60, 70 normally, depending on the status of the game. And that is all the team news I have for you guys. All right, let me read the chat because I wasn't watching what was coming up really while I was talking. Nish, right on time. Mate, 33 minutes. You're very early, Nish. Great to have you. Sorry, let me scroll back up and get three of these. Just as I have like Simon, Salah and Pedro who could also be captain. Yeah, I think Salah or Foden for me would be my captaincy 6. I'd always aim for like big teams that I think score the most goals, which are Liverpool and Man City. I do think Chelsea score goals as well. I think they are missing a few key players though, so I wouldn't go for JP. Rico, yes sir. What's up, Reeks? How are you, mate? Good morning. Lekker morning for Awake and Bake. Started resistance training this week. Body's in all sorts of pain. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm at home with the family, living at home with the family, so not for me, Paul. But yeah, I should be doing some stretching, mate. I should be doing some stretching and some exercise once I get out of this illness. Resistance training, nice. That's tough. Someone else started training this week. Rob's playing 5-side football. He's in all sorts of pain before his birthday. Niels, I'm thinking of taking out Statch. Ooh, Rob is not going to be happy with that. Niels, any other team like stuff that you want to talk through with your own team? Radu could go Eze and Strand Larsen, Stack and Gyökeres or DCL and Foden and Waymo. All of these in game week 7 have no free transfers left. Yeah, I think Eze and Strand Larsen or DCL and Bumo. Foden game week 7 is a bit late, I think, for him. I think if you go Foden, you got to go this week. I like your thinking, Bonty. Semenyo and Bruno in, Salah and King out. Rico. Who are you captaining this week? I think Rico's, because like if you want to captain Salah, then that's a problem. I can't remember what we discussed, to be honest, mate. I can't remember the rest of the team. Radu, help me out, please. I think I answered all your questions, Radu, mate. I think you just got to pay attention to my fast speaking. Do we know how long Nuri is out for? I think a couple more weeks. But let me, I can double check on that. I only need help with my starting lineup as I made my transfers, but sort Rico out first, mate. No chance I'm sorting Rico out first. Rico never deserves to go first in this chat. Rico is the bane of my existence. No, actually, Rico's been redeeming himself lately. Definitely redeeming himself for always cussing me out. I'm so confused with my team this week. Bottled game week 5 bid time. Nish, can you put your team ID in, mate, and I'll pull it up. No worries, Paul. Yes, we go. Watch Watkins bag a hat trick this week. I'd actually love that. I think that'd be well funny. Everyone sold Watkins. I haven't had Watkins since, I don't know, game week 2. Send my ID in chat whenever you can. Edwin, send it again, mate. Oh, no, I saw it. 756. Right, and then Rob's teams. And then Rob, then Nish. Sorry, Rob. Don't kill me. Calafiori in for Ekatike. Virgil Lacroix. Ed, what are your thoughts, mate? What are your thoughts for this week? You got 2 frees. Are you doing? Are you making any transfers? Because just looking at Matty Cash, Villa v Fulham this week. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't mind that. Yeah, I'll tell you next week, Raddy. Let's wait. If you're not doing it this week, it doesn't matter. This week it'd probably be... I don't know, actually. I don't know. Depends. This week it'd probably be DCL and Boomo. Next week it'd probably be Stroud Larson and Eze, depending on who starts this week. Yeah, Virgil, Lacroix, Cash, Calafiori. Midfield, Gakpo, Enzo, Kudus. Harvey Elliott's got to stay on the bench. Harvey Elliott and Ekatike are going to be on the bench. So then you got bench 1 of Lacroix, Rodon, Anderson, and Enzo, I guess. But it probably wouldn't be him. Yeah, Elliott can come into that Villa starting lineup for sure. He should be coming in as number 10. I don't know what they're doing with him. He's an absolute gun. Not necessarily, Radu. Not necessarily. I like all 3. I'd prefer Eze if he's starting every week. I'm just thinking about what I do here. I think you... The problem is, Edwin, I know you probably missed a few of this chat. I'm really considering moving to like a 2-striker layout, which is why I haven't made an Ekatike move yet. But I think the way your team is set up at the moment, you got to bench Elliott, you got to bench Ekatike. Like this week, there's just not a great striker option, in my opinion. Unless you want to go Jared Bowen against Everton. It's not bad. Or Richarlison this week. You've already wildcarded as well, so like I think Richarlison's like a little bit more short term. Yeah, I mean you could go Ekatike to Isak. It's a tough fixture this week. I'd consider upgrading like Anderson in the midfield. Maybe Sun and Bumo. Can you get up that high? Sun and Bumo. Or even to a Foden. Just hanging on to Harvey Elliott for another week. See if he starts to come into that starting lineup. And then play 4-4-2 with one of Lacroix and Rodon on the bench. I'd play Verge. I'd play Cash. I'd play Calafiori. I don't know between Lacroix and Rodon. I think that's tough. I mean, you could even bench Calafiori, to be honest, but I don't know if you would want to do that. I'd probably be benching Rodon. Probably play Virgil, Lacroix, Cash, Calafiori. Move Anderson to Mbumo, Gakpo, Enzo, Kudus, and João Pedro and Haaland up top. Bench Ekatike. Elliott, and Rodon. That's probably where I'd go, mate. Unk! What's up, Unk? How are you, bro? Great to have you back in. You don't know Anderson has Sunderland. Yeah, well then if you're comfortable with that, then I think you just roll. I'm not sure Adam, how much would I swap Ekatike for DCL? $9.99. $9.99. I would do it. I would start DCL as well. I can't make it too easy on you. I can't make it too easy on you because you killed me last week. Next manager to get sacked is like and subscribe. Yes, please do like and subscribe, and let me pull up Paul's flipping team now because Rob's team now because I've been taking way too long. And now we're getting starts at it close to the end. I don't think Potter's been sacked, has he? Where did you see that? Lacroix over Rodon. Palace shut out against Liverpool on the cards. I just think it's more likely. I think he's also going to get DEFCON. I think Palace are generally good against Liverpool. For a wildcard, you reckon Donnarumma is A+. For a wildcard, you reckon Donnarumma instead of Raya is a bit of a differential with City fixture. Looks okay. Sure, I don't mind that at all. Bench one, Gyökeres, Neto, and Dai, Reinders, Xavi Simons, Quex, Neto. Sky Sports, is it? He's been sacked. I haven't seen that. Anyway, Let me just pull up these teams now because I'm taking too long. We don't have that long left. 22 minutes. Yeah, remember, please smash that like button if you can. Subscribe down below to the channel. And yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Rob, you sent me so many teams, mate. Which this is the correct one, is it? What am I looking at? Didn't mean to have that on screen. Didn't mean to have that on screen. Whoops. Chip strategy videos, missed those ones. Does that need to come soon? I think that's got time. All right, Rob, what are we saying here, mate? Oh, fucking hell. How do I show you Gyok? I'm going to have to do a edit myself. Yeah, thanks, Nish. I've got your number. Don't worry, mate. Goodmanson, Pedro Porro. You've made your transfers though, Rob, haven't you? On this team? I think I agree with what you've done. I'd probably have Cucurella above Munoz on the bench. I'd probably have Cucurella first on the bench. Maybe second on the bench. Yeah, I think Gokras, then Cucurella, then Munoz. This is the first team, eh? This one, I think I'd start the same. I think you got it right. Although I'd probably start Raya over Darlow, but I know that's difficult to convince you on. 19 minutes to the deadline. I think I've got time to get through. Hey, who's still waiting other than Nish and Rico? Is anyone else still waiting for team? Just so I know how quick to be through the next ones, because there's 19 minutes to deadline, and I kind of want to quickly look at my own team. I'm still offering a £10 donation to swap Becca TK for Dominic Calvert-Lewin in my own team, or $10. Let me transfer his first team. Is triple captain Haaland worth it? Jules, I don't mind it. I think it's a good week for it. I think next week's also a good week for it, though. So if you want a wild card this week or do something else this week, I think game week 7 against Brentford is equally good. Second team is an Arsenal asset, and I swapped Mateta for TK. Yeah, this is your second team, no? Yeah, in this second team, I think I'd just have Cucurella second on the bench, but everything else looks correct. Big out. What's up, man? Good luck. Remember move this week. Brought in Xavi, Reinders and Haaland for Mateta, Salah and Elliott. Poor bench boost last week, playing triple captain on Haaland. Yeah, it was a tough week last week, actually. In general, low scoring. Good luck on TC. All right. Let's get through some other reviews. It sounds like there wasn't anyone else waiting, so we'll just get through Nish and Rico. Rob, is that good, mate? I don't have any members waiting, do I? Hope not. Please tell me, guys. Really considering starting Elliott, he could play right wing with bench Road on. Yeah, you can take a punt on Harvey. You could take a punt on Harvey. Bowen's also a good asset. Always a good asset. Bowen's always a good asset. He's just 8 mil for a striker. Jules, bench Gyökeres. Easy one for me. Nish, all right, 2 free transfers. What are your thoughts here, Nish? What are you planning to do with this team? Do you have any thoughts that you're looking to do? Are you doing a Salah out, a Haaland in sort of thing, or are you looking to keep Big Mo? Because otherwise I'm looking Virgil's good, Senesi's good, Cucurella's all right. Been thinking of Haaland for a while. Show my team, please. Can't at the moment, Kentaro. I will do. Striker and FPL, I think, right wing. Yeah, broken. No, I don't think so. Striker's like not ideal. I'd rather have a midfielder that plays right wing. Look, if you want to go Haaland, then you probably go Mateta out, Haaland in, Salah out, Bumo / Gakpo / Bruno in. I'd probably go Gakpo. In terms of who to start, I think Raya in goal, Virgil, Cucurella, Senesi, then Semenyo, whoever that Salah spot is, Grealish, KDH. You might as well start Paqueta now. Potter's been sacked. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the midfield? João Pedro, Gyökeres and bench Mateta. But if you have Haaland in, then that changes it. I'm not satisfied with the overall team. No, I don't know what's wrong. Yeah. Let me have a think. I don't mind a Reinders for Dewsbury Hall, Gakpo for Salah, Haaland for Mateta, take the -4, triple or captain Haaland. Nish, that I would genuinely consider that for a -4. But then who to bench? You'd bench Gyökeres or Paqueta. You bench obviously Goodmanson, Munoz, and then one of Gyökeres and Paqueta. Does anyone know much about Garner for Everton? Holding midfielder. That's about it, really. He'll potentially pick up some DEFCON points. Makes a few forward runs, but not like crazy into the box. No worries, Nish. Rico, you here, bro? You're the last one I've got on this, and then I'll consider Dom Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, that Everton midfield of Idrissa Gueye and Garner are going to be good for DEFCON. Just the way Everton play, like Everton are always going to be good for picking up DEFCON because they're so direct with their game that they're in a lot of defensive actions all the time. In the chat. Start Wood or Ndoye. Radu, I'd start Wood. Gyökeres and Dye and Richards or Calvert-Lewin, Saka and Burn. For this week or for long term, Hugo? What do I think of Mateta, Gakpo and Munoz, Gabriel, Foden, Richarlison, Luka? Yes, do that. That sounds great. But no, I don't think you need to do that. Like, I don't think you need, like, short term that's good. Short term that is good. Yeah. I think short term that's good. But bear in mind that Richarlison becomes an issue later down the line. Foden becomes rotation later down the line as well when Champions League is in full flow. Yeah, Luka, I think it's just better than mine. Is he locked or a rotation risk? I'm looking for a solid 5 mil midfielder as it'll be my first bench option. Sorry, Niels, I think you were asking about that above. I think Pape Sarr at Spurs is a really nice solid 5 mil midfielder. that's locked in the team as well, in my opinion. If he's fit, he's locked. The problem is DEFCON for him is not superb. James Garner, I would say, is pretty locked. I would say he's pretty locked in there. Yeah. I think him and Idrissa Gana Gay are the main guys in that midfield pivot. So I think at 5 mil he's decent. He'll probably pick up DEFCON every other week or something. Everton, just because of their style of play. So yeah, I don't mind that, Niels. I thought you were a KDH mainstay. I like Stash as well, to be honest. I think the fact that Stash is on free kicks for Leeds is pretty great at that 5 mil price point. Rico, yeah, I haven't said anything about the team, mate. What are your thoughts? 3 free transfers. What are you thinking to do? I've got 10 minutes, so let's be quick. I guess Tosin out. All right, let's just think about this. You could go just Virgil, Senesi, Goodmanson at the back. Kudus, Salah, Reinders, Dewsbury Hall, João Pedro, Haaland, Mateta. But given that you got 3 frees, what can you do? Options are Mateta down to a Jorgen Strand Larsen. I mean, you could just go, Mateta down to Jurgen Strand Larsen. And maybe King up to Reinders. Oh, no, you have Reinders. My bad. King. Or Mateta down to Dom Calvert-Lewin. And then Tosin up to like Gabriel or Calafiori or Timber. I think that's where I see the transfer. You did Munoz to Tarkowski. Yeah, Munoz to Tarkowski is really good. So Tarkowski, Virgil, Senesi starting. So I think it's just then you got 3-4-3. Do you want to play Mateta or not? If you don't want to play Mateta, you can go Mateta to Jurgen Strand Larsen. And I think you can roll. I think you can play Mateta and roll. But if you want to feel like you have a nicer side for this week, you can go Strand Larsen and maybe upgraded Tosin to a Gabriel or Calafiori or Timber. Adam, I'm going to be nice and not make you bring a DCL. You are ill. Got to be nice. That's right. I actually like DCL as an option. I'm not that against it. Okay, 7 more minutes. I'll play Mateta. Okay, yeah. So then I think you just go Tarkowski, Virgil, Senesi, Kudus, Salah, Reinders, Dewsbury Hall. Play Haaland, João Pedro, Mateta, bench King. King probably. Goodmanson first on bench. King first on bench. King, Goodmanson, Tosin. Bench order is what I'd go. Alright, let me pull my team up then. And in fact, maybe I'll show it on the actual site. This is what my team's looking like at the moment. Oh, start Strand Larsen or Wirtz Strand Larsen. Unc, do you need me to look at your team, mate? Oh, I've got 5 minutes. Or was it just that question? Start Anderson or Gabriel Hugo? I'd start both if I could. I'm sure you've got a midfielder or something that can come out for them. Radu, should I take a -4? No. Sorry, I'm just looking at my team, guys, just quickly. DCL is the GOAT. Don't mind DCL, mate. I'm just thinking about what I want to do. I know I had a plan, but I've forgotten it. Bench Richards or Munoz in defence. Munoz. You know what? I did have a plan. I'm sure I would have put it in here. Oh, you can't see my plan FPL team, can you? Here you go. Starters and bench order. Yeah, let me pull you up quickly, Lou. Shit, sorry, mate. 3224149. It would be Pedro Porro, Anderson, Tarkovsky for me at the back. Then I'd go. What transfers have you made this week, Unk? Three minutes to go, mate. Tell me ASAP. Because I can't see the transfers that you've made. I can just see your team. Yeah, Pedro Porro, Anderson, Tarkovsky is what I'd have at the back. Maria Salah, Palmer, Fulkrug out for Senesi and Bumo, Foden and Haaland. Okay. Okay, so I'd probably play Senesi as well then. 4 at the back. And then I'd go Salah, Palmer, Fulkrug out, Senesi and Bumo, Foden. I'd obviously have Mbumo, Foden, Reinders. Watkins, Strand, Larson. Probably wouldn't play Fulkrug. I'd play Wirtz. It'd be Wirtz, Mbumo, Foden. Wirtz and Bumo, Foden, Reinders. Haaland. Oh, shit. Haaland, Strand, Larson. Shit, that's crazy. Bench Munoz. Bench King. Wirtz or Watkins. Munoz and King to Romero, Rangers, or just Munoz to Gabriel? I like Romero and Reinders. No, scrap that, Luca. Munoz to Gabriel. One of Watkins and Wirtz, Unk, is the other bench. I'd probably stick my neck out and say I'd bench Watkins. 1 minute to go, guys. 1 minute to go. I guess I don't have time to look at my team. Which two to start out of Caicedo, Gyökeres, Anderson, and Gabriel? Bench Gyökeres. Bench Caicedo. No, bench Anderson, sorry. Bench Caicedo and Gyökeres. Here you go. 1 minute, guys. No worries, Unk. Sorry, that was crazy. Adam playing mind games with DCL. Stop it, Rob. You're killing me. Played Dorgu or Williams. Bernie. Williams. Bench Richards or Munoz in defence. Munoz. I genuinely could have gone DCL. That's it. Deadline's passed, guys. Whew. That was crazy. All right. I said I was going to do some giveaways this week, and I am going to do some giveaways this week. What I will do is just quickly do a quick discussion on Game Day Squad, which is the free-to-play fantasy football game that I am promoting with a couple of Aussie guys. You can win basically money every week, up to like $250 plus really every week. There is another league now that's out that you can win up to $500 each week. You don't have to have signed up at the beginning of the season. You can essentially have signed up at any week. You can sign up this week and you can still win prizes every week. If you sign up with my promo code FPLTA, you get a bunch of additional players. It's sort of a little bit like FIFA packs, the way you get it. The rules are pretty much the same as FPL, so you don't need to think too much about like new things that are coming up. Yes, I can give you some packs, Nils. And yeah, if you want, the FPL app is so shit, confirmed. And they keep changing the layout, and it's pissing me off because I have to keep changing all my slides every week. So yes, thank you, Nils. I agree, the FPL app is shit. So come over and play Game Day Squad. Basically, the similar rules to FPL. You don't have to think too much about the scoring. GameDaySquad.com.au. Sign up with my promo code. You get some additional packs. You can win like now up to $500 a week. Every week you just select a team that you think is going to do well. You can change all of the players every week. It's just based off the cards that you open in your packs. You get free packs every week. If you join my live streams every week, I'll be giving away packs to people that want them just for free. For example, Neil's just asked for some, so I'm going to give him some additional packs this week. And next week, the owners of Game Day Squad told me that they're going to give away a special player card. So I will do a giveaway next week for that special player card. I'm having a think of how I'm going to give that away. Might be a bit different to how I've done it before. But yeah, look out for that. If you have joined up for that, that will be a good addition to your team and a nice way of helping you win each week. Note that Niels has already won one of these weekly prizes. Came first place one of the weeks. I have also come in the top 10 for some of them as well. So it is definitely a lot less players playing this than there are playing FPL as well. So a lot more chances to win money. And I actually think it's a really good game. And I think the longer you play it over the season as well, the better your team becomes and the more likely you are to win like some of those like $500 amounts. Because honestly, you could just pick a team and you'd be like, all right, this week I think that Burnley are going to turn over Man City and pick a bunch of Burnley players. If they came up with that upset and turned over Man City, you would for sure be in like the top 10. So yeah, it's a super interesting game. I think it's really, really good. And I can quickly maybe show what it looks like in terms of how you pick the players. Looks something like this. So you have a bunch of competitions and then you pick your players. Similar to FPL, you have like it's a forced formation, so you have 4-3-3 and you'll have like the attackers, I don't know if you can see easily, but yeah, you have the attackers, midfielders and defenders, and you have on the side here what they call like subs. These subs also count towards points, so your starting 11 plus your 4 substitutes down the side all count towards points, and then these emergencies at the bottom here, these are basically what your FPL bench would be. So if anybody doesn't start at the front, you put in these bench players. So I think my best team is probably this one here, where I've got a bunch of nice players that are in there. And you can win prizes every single week. Every single week there's over $1,000 up for grabs in various leagues. Free to play. You get a bunch of additional packs if you sign up with my promo code. I think it's really fun. And the guys that run it are a good bunch of blokes out in Oz. So check it out if you haven't. Sign up. You can technically sign up multiple accounts, multiple different email addresses. You don't need anything to sign up, just an email address and a password. To be honest, you don't even need that email address. I shouldn't be telling you that. But yeah, so you can sign up multiple accounts as well if you're interested. But yeah, remember to sign up with FPLT as TEA as promo code, because you get a bunch of additional players and additional packs which will help you win. All right, so I did say that I would do some giveaways. So I will do that right now. So what I'm going to say is, for this giveaway, the first one I will be doing is I'm going to basically give away I'll do $10 giveaway to members. I'll also do 10% off. I'll do a 10% off all products on this store. So this is my football merch store, where I've got a bunch of different products: mugs, hoodies, t-shirts, caps, etc., with a bunch of different players, celebrations, iconic moments, etc. I'm also taking requests for customization ones, or specific ones that you'd like yourself, specific teams, etc. So if you are interested in any of those, let me know. There was a recent one that I did, was this Mark Viduka Leeds one, which I thought was quite nice. You can probably guess who the requester of that was. A nice George Best one came out recently, which I thought was quite cool, in the old Man United kit. So yeah, let me know if there is anything specific that you're after. Even if you're not the winner of this, feel free to let me know. I can do customizations again with name and number on the back as well. So yeah, happy to do some specific designs for you guys. If you want to take part in the giveaway right now, put a W in the chat, and I will add you to this random name picker. Get the wheel of names up. Members draw. I'm going to do a specific members draw after, but for now I'm going to do everybody that's in the chat for a 10% giveaway. If you just put W in the chat, you're in. Yeah, you're right though. I will just include all my members in the giveaway. I think that's a good way of doing it. Problem is I got to flipping pull the list up of everybody. Bernie, Niels, Abdullah, Pull Brycey. Very clever, Bryce. Very clever. What's the easiest way to transfer players from one comp to another? Is it better swapping than removing? Yeah, it's better to swap, honestly. Yeah, better to swap. I'd swap it like the way I generally do it, because sometimes removing is a bit of a pain. It doesn't allow you to do it well on game day squad. So, yeah, I tend to swap them out for someone I don't want and then move him into the other comp. Foggy. Anyone else in the chat want to be involved in this one? And I'm going to do another separate one as well, which is just all members, which is for $10. So that one I'll set up on the side. I'll wait for everyone to put their names W in the chat if you want to be involved in the other giveaway. 10% off everything in store. And in the meantime, I'll also do a £10 giveaway to all members that are in the chat at the moment. In fact, all members that I have, I'm doing it for. So I've got a list of all of you guys. Even if you're not in at the moment, you'll be involved with a chance to win $10, which is another good reason why you should sign up and be a member, because you probably make the money back pretty quickly. Rob. There's a few Robs in there. Edwin, Cody, Quex, Lindsay, Abdi, Josiah, Bonte, Kentaro, Sam Fury, Llewellyn / Unk. 1 out of 2 at the moment from giveaways. Unbelievable. Alright, so I will spin the members wheel and I will also spin this other wheel. I'll do both. Alright, so the winner of the 10% giveaway is... He is 2 from 3. Abdullah, congratulations. So I'll give you the 10% discount code. I'll flick something. Can you message me on Twitter or Instagram, please? Because I can't remember which one, which your account is on there. And I will send something through to you later today for the 10% off everything in store. And let me know if there's a specific design you want as well, Abdullah. Happy to sort that out for you. Congratulations. And then the members draw, which is all members for $10. Let's spin and see. No way. This is actually rigged. Isaac wins this every time. I think I've done 3 and he's won every one. I don't know how I feel about that and whether I should respin it. What are the thoughts in the chat about that? Because I don't like to respin because I think that's a bit rogue. I think that's a bit rogue because he did technically win, but I mean he's won 3 in a row. Respin. I think he'll be all right with it. Let's see. I'll do a short poll of who's in the chat whether I should respin. Do you know what I'll do? Is I'll give Isaac a 10% code as well to the store, and I'll respin for the $10 because he can't keep winning this. He can't keep winning this. So I'll make the executive decision. Also, the poll ended 100% to yes. All right, let's respin. Ooh, Quex, my guy. Congratulations. We have a winner. I'll ping him because I have his deets. I'm going to tell him he needs to become a elite member because I've given him that money. All right, guys. No to respond. Yeah. So next. So no to respin. Yeah, I think I'll give Isaac the 10% discount code as well. So at least he wins something for that. Because really, I shouldn't be respinning. I think I kind of agree. So next week, guys, what I will say is we'll obviously be doing a giveaway for Game Day Squad. So someone will be winning a special player pack. So if you do sign up to Game Day Squad, flick me through a message if you do want some additional codes on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll send them through to you guys. Or if you're on the Elite Members WhatsApp chat, just flick me a message on there, and I can flick them through to you guys. Thanks for everyone tuning in today. Hopefully we have a good week for FPL. Also, amazingly, I'm in England, so I can watch all the games and not be like half asleep and dying. Next week, if there are any specific videos that you want, let me know. I'm thinking of just doing the usual sort of buy, sell, hold, and unless anything crazy comes out next week. We'll see if people want a wildcard draft or not. But otherwise, just the usual. I'm blaming on COVID. Yeah. Cool. So, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a fantastic game week. Feel free to reach out. Anything that you have, any queries in the week. And if everyone can do me a favour and try to reply via the YouTube channel to requests for teams, etc., unless you're in our WhatsApp chat, post on comments into the YouTube channel rather than on Insta and Twitter, because I'm starting to find it a little bit hard to reply to everybody's comments on Insta and Twitter now. There are quite a lot, but if you post a comment on YouTube on my videos, I will make sure that I reply to all of those. So thank you so much for your support. This has been your English Aussie, and have a fantastic game week, everybody. I will catch you guys later.